It was a dark and stormy night, one October evening, the 30th of the 10th, 2021. There was a chill hanging in the air. Actually, it was a little bit warm today, but there was a chill hanging in the air over the top of our heroes, would you call it?
Yeah.
Over the top of our heroes as they geared up to fight on this evil night. Oh, hey, Harry, how's it going? Sorry, I was just practicing my monologue there. Hey, on this what do you think of my monologue?
Yeah, it was pretty good, pretty good.
I was going to use that to introduce the stream.
Got me into the mood.
Yeah. On this evil night of AAOL season 13, stage 3, October the 30th. Did I say that? I said that.
Yes.
Welcome everyone to AAOL. We are back. Harry, it's good to have you here for the first cast.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's been a little bit since I've been able to make one of these casts, and I've dressed up for the occasion, I think. And I'm ready for some crackers, in the game, honestly.
Yeah. I'm so keen. Tonight's going to be some great games. We have a really wild diversity of different teams in different skill levels. It's going to be so much fun. And it's spooky season, so we might as well get a little bit crazy with it and jump over to some of the maps that you see a little bit less frequently than normal, you know?
Interesting seeing how the map changes might affect some of the gameplay, obviously with some different obstacles in the way, some of the designs being different. As we start off on Lijiang Tower, the Lunar New Year variant of Lijiang Tower, before heading over to either King's Row or Eichenwald, King's Row being the winter variant of it. We then head over to Rialto and Junkertown for our escort maps, with our assault, if we need it, being Hanamura, the winter version, and Temple of Anubis, as well as our last control map being Nepal, with Busan being the tiebreaker if needed at the end of it all. Yeah. And like I said, it'll be interesting to see how the variations actually come into play, whether they do come into play this series.
It should be a super enjoyable night. Yeah, these different maps do have some different effects on gameplay. There's a lot of people that do or don't favor the different, seasonal variants of maps for very specific reasons. There's a great example of, obviously, Eichenwald has, point 2, and a lot of people know that there's a fence that exists on the Halloween-only version of the map that tends to interfere some small aspects of gameplay. So whether or not these teams enjoy these maps or dislike them, it adds another side of differing gameplay to everything tonight. And speaking of our teams, we should get introduced and set up so that everyone knows what to expect tonight, and so that everyone can, get ready for the match. Starting off with ONG Magnolia. Wow, what a roster this is. Starting off on Sports Kid on the main tank. Harry, this is going to be a fun one because Sports Kid is playing Roadhog. And then we have Spoon on the off tank. And Harry, Spoon is playing Roadhog. We have Chairborne on Hitscan DPS. Chairborne is playing Roadhog. We have VB on Flex DPS. VB is playing Roadhog. But it's okay because we have one Mercy brought up by Nimmy. Thank you, Nimmy, for not giving us 6 damn Roadhogs in a row. I like you more than anyone else right now. And then we have Crab Doctor, who's playing Roadhog.
Yeah. If anyone has seen my Twitter feed, they would know that Roadhog and I do not get along. Roadhog players on my team.
You really don't.
Will never coexist. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, they haven't really given us any heroes that they specialize on other than Roadhog. So it's going to be interesting seeing what they actually do decide to play coming into these maps. We are hoping to see a little bit more variation than what they've given us. But it'll be interesting, especially with the first map being Lijiang. You get such a large variety of heroes that can be played on each of the stages.
Yeah.
As we move over to our second roster of Ambition Lust, this one actually has some variation here.
Oh, look at that. No Roadhog.
I know. It's so good. Cookie on the main tank here. Void Break onto the off tank. Duckseye onto the Hitscan DPS. Matt on Flex DPS. Dave Pokemon on the main support. And Vocalize on flex support. And like I said, this is a lot more variation. Looking like they're favoring more of the old school dive compositions, something you would see in like Overwatch League Season 1, especially with the Widowmaker Tracer. We've got a sub, I apologize. Pika subbing in for Duckseye here, playing more of the Doomfist role. So that'll be interesting to see whether that substitute actually has a massive impact on the team synergy at all.
Yeah. That's a really good point, actually, because this composition should be extremely, extremely enjoyable and a tough one to run against 5 Roadhogs. So
Doomfist into 5 Roadhogs. I cannot think of anything less fun.
I can't think of anything less fun for the Roadhogs, all playing Roadhog. I certainly can't think of anything less fun for the entirety of this team, but you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting seeing the compositions. As we start off on Lijiang here, we're gonna be starting off on Night Market, and this is a map where you see lots of different compositions come out. Looks like we're gonna see the Brawl compositions coming up from both teams, utilizing the Symmetra and the Doomfist. Doesn't look like they've got any trolling going on here. No trolling for us. Hopefully, I think what we will see in the end here is we'll end up seeing the teleport just straight to point here. We're not going to see any major gameplay changes here. We'll just see the engage coming straight in as the round opens up now, and they're going to be moving towards the point.
Yeah, good point there. That teleport does buy a bit of extra time, Harry, but as they roll out to point here, both teams are at exactly the same point in time, except for notice this Doomfist is not with the fight, so that opens a really early engage and win for Magnolia, Harry.
Yeah, that was odd. The Doomfist didn't take the TP and just straight away everyone seemed to just fall. That was just a really strange fight.
I'm not sure if that Doomfist lost connection and started to walk to the side because that's the only key that the game noticed was held down, or whether they had a strategy and it just sort of fell down at the breach there.
Yeah, most definitely. But we're going to see them trying to come back in now as we see the side of Ambition Lost trying to hold a lot closer here, and now just backing up slowly, just giving themselves that point coverage as we do Doomfist coming from the side here, trying to get the engage, but he's instantly been pounced on. He might go down really early here. He does. Sports Kid managing to pick up that kill. Without the insta-kill potential, it's going to be really hard now for the side of... I can't think of the name right now off the top of my head, to actually get in as we see the Meteor Strike and the Symmetra Wall both being used as they're trying to charge out, get as much value from it as we can. Sports Kid may manage to take out Cookie EXE, and just like that, this fight is going to be cleaned up. Sports Kid with 3 in the end, just swinging away with that Ryan Hammer.
Yeah, Sports Kid did an amazing job there. I'm not sure if you quite caught it, but there was an ability used that Sports Kid blocked, and then immediately he rolled out through into the center of this fight. And yeah, just took 3 kills with that hammer. Notice Shatter online for Sports Kid as well, Harry. So that Shatter, the key fight win for this next fight. Of course, they do have Baptiste's Immortality Lamp and Window, as we see getting used here as well for Baptiste, as well as Lucio's ultimate online to keep things alive. So that Shatter not disabled at all.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Shadow doesn't really get any value, but it didn't really matter because the window got value, and Tracy just spamming through it, managed to get vocalized with it, and just like that, this has been an absolute steamroll for the side of Magnolia. And Ambition Lost look really, really lost right now.
Yeah, tell me about it, Harry. This is a painful and unfortunate initial fight for Lust. They are definitely rolling through with some ultimates here. They can take this at the last second, and Void Break does jump on point to touch, so at least there's that. Teleport through as well, straight onto point.
Wait, Void Break didn't touch! They managed to get a touch. Shatter comes out, but in response, it's a block and the sound barrier, and now they're trying to get really aggressive. Simwall comes out now, and the self-destruct to the point isn't really going to be able to find anything. Tracy managed to find Void Break, gets the baby Diva. Dave Pokemon did get the boob off onto Nimi, but Sports Kid managed to take out Quickie EXE. Simwall coming out from the other side now, as Ambition Lost, though, seems to be losing steam, and that is going to be the end of the first round on Lijiang Tower. And Ambition Lost, they seem lost.
They really do. This is very much first fight territory, first map territory. A lot of the time, you know, first game is generally a warm-up against your opponent. It's a unique kind of stress to go into first game against your opponent when you might have just been playing comp or quick play to warm up. Still, it's a little unfortunate. You do not want to start down, and if you're letting your first map go like this, it gives you a bit of a disadvantage. Maybe they can switch things up here. Maybe that map is the worst for them and they can go from here and take something a little bit more fun. Speaking of fun, our first pause of the night comes through, and let's have a bit of a talk.
Yeah. Look, that was really odd. It seemed like Pika there was struggling a lot on that Doomfist within that round. It just seemed really odd watching it unfold like that. It seemed like they didn't have a game plan at all, and he just seemed uncomfortable with it. Now we see him move over to the Junkrat. He might feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Junkrat is one of those heroes where you can kind of switch your brain off a little bit and just spam into choke points. And with the map being control center, it is very choke point heavy.
Yeah, Control Center is one of the best for Junkrat as far as I know, especially Junkrat May. Great composition to run on Control Center. I think Lust have the right idea in rolling with a Symmetra, but I would not stick that too long if that doesn't work out. They could do a lot of burning, especially if Magnolia run with a Diva, but I just don't see it being too reliable.
Yeah, it's looking weird. It looks like the side of Magnolia are actually rolling out with the Sigma, looking to use that double shield. Do you think that'll give them a little bit more cover on the advance?
I think that's going to help a lot, but it's also going to make them slower, Harry. So they need that teleporter and they need that Lucio online at all times, and if they get picked off, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, and a great little engagement, actually getting straight through the choke point so quickly. That's going to nullify the Junkrat usage a little bit, and the immortality field for Vocalize has gone down. But as I say that, Cookie EXE actually managed to get a 5-strike kill onto Nimi, but Sportskid has just walked in. He managed to find Void Break after Spoon and Flex Tape found Matt. And they have all the positioning. They didn't allow the Junkrat to get any value, and they managed to walk onto point. This will be the first point capture going over to the side of Magnolia.
Yeah, Harry, that Junkrat denial is the key to winning this point. You can spam your heart out with Junkrat, especially after he gets his buff that's coming through, but winning it in that way, knocking the Junkrat out of that fight, key to winning.
Yeah, most definitely. And they're just getting really aggressive again. Again, they're not letting it get any value. Immortality Field is forced out. Really, a huge shatter comes out. 6-man on the floor. Sportskid, you absolute maniac.
That's a team wipe, Harry, right there. Luster out of this fight, and despite the fact that they have an ultimate online, at least 1 and 2 coming, it doesn't matter. Team wipe, Magnolia keep this. Now they're pushing up to choke, and notice that they have a pretty even distribution of ult charge as well. So it's all Magnolia's game to lose at this point.
Yeah, it really is, and that's a window, and they're just gonna have to back up. They don't have the Diva, so they're not gonna be able to just push into it eating any of the damage, and they managed to actually get the kill on Matt here. So now that without their Symmetra, they're going to have to hold again. That's going to be another 10% going up, and they'll get to around 50% before this fight actually fully starts.
Yeah, we're sitting at 51% on the clock as I say that, Harry, and it just doesn't look like Lust have a way to break in here. The Junkrat is up top. They look like they're rotating, but they're taking it so slowly that Magnolia they know what's coming. They teleport back to point, and here's the fight. They're ready for it.
Yeah, here is the fight indeed. Graviton Flux actually being used. As you see, the window, the Immortality Field come out. The Junkrat tire from the backline here. Pika's been caught out a little bit. He needs to be really careful. Dave Pokemon now trying to rush in and save him to get him out. But Vocalize falls. Tracy has found the off angle. Another great shatter coming in from Sportskid. Fighting both tanks. Graviton Surge invested. Void Break does manage to find 2. He's trying to bring it back. Matt actually managed to find the Baptiste on the side of Magnolia. And just like this, Ambition Lust is showing that small bit of life that they need to. And they managed to flip the point.
Oh my god, Harry, the beam team right there. Just there's Symmetra and Zarya on both sides of that, deleting in that grab. I saw that and went, oh, they threw that grab out. They did not need to use that. They did. They won that fight off that. Amazing work, Lust. Well done.
Yeah, it was a great fight, and Pika actually just camped the teleporter there and managed to pick off Nimi. Nimi right there. As we see an Earth Shadow now coming in from Cookie EXE. Flex Tape did find Dave Pokemon, and Pika's falling very low. He actually goes down, but they trade Junkrat out for the Reinhardt there. Sportskid going down. Matt managed to find Tracy, but Crab Dentist back Cookie EXE using the window on the point. Flex Tape putting it to great use. Manages to find Vocalize and Void Break. Matt goes down to Spoon, and that is going to be the first map going over to the side of Magnolia. Ambition Lust showing a little bit of life towards the end, but it just wasn't enough.
Well done, Flex Day. That carried that last fight straight through. With a couple picks, that's all they needed. MAGNOLIA already had the 90% on that clock.
Oh,
it was just last fight territory, and Lust just did not have the lust to win that, unfortunately.
Oh,
Good fight by them, but not enough to get through. And a huge shatter. Notice that Sports Kid cleans the Junkrat on the way through and ends this fight on 16 HP.
That is incredible. Look at that Earthshatter efficiency. He got 8 Earthshatter kills from 9 Earthshatter stuns. That is insane.
Just about every single stun.
Exactly. The only one that he didn't, the only player who managed to live in Earthshatter was Void Break on the fight that they managed to turn with a Graviton Surge.
Yep.
So, I mean, you take those as a main tank player. Sports Kid is going to be so happy that right now you're spamming MTD.
They probably are in chat. I have not been looking, but I would not be surprised if they were. Sports Kid, very dominant display to begin with. I wonder if they're going to do something a little bit different after having that map go down the way that it did. I wonder if they're going to run something different onto our next map. Obviously, it is a choice between King's Row and Eichenwald up next. The real question is, depending on which pick, are they going to roll with something different? King's Row?
Yeah, King's Row.
It's a very, very... look, I'm going to say that one's a MAGNOLIA win, at least to begin with, until they can adapt. They are rolling King's Row. I want to theorize for a second on Eichenwald. We are not running on the Halloween version of Eichenwald. Do you think they would have done any better if they ran, say, Dive on Eichenwald?
I think so, and I think the reason for that is because they've subbed out Pika here and they've actually got Duckside back in. So they've actually got what is their original team. Duckside hopefully is going to be able to do... I don't want to slam Pika too much, but Pika seemed incredibly lost in that map. And it generally was a weak point for Ambition Lust in that last round. I think if Duckside can come in and turn this around for Lust, then I think it might have been a better idea going over to Eichenwald to just play the Monkey, to play something that isn't the Reinhardt, because at the moment Sports Kid is absolutely dominating Cookie EXE.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well. Change this up and come at Sports Kid a different way that isn't the Reinhardt to Reinhardt, the shield to shield. That said, again, as I said before, maybe this was just a case of first game woes and, first map's a warm-up. They threw Lijiang in the bin, but they take it to a map for tonight and it is 3-1. If I were them, that's what I'd be hoping for. I'd like to see them pull it off here on Wintertime at King's Row. I really, really love this map, by the way, Harry. I'm a huge fan of the way this looks. Maybe it operates slightly differently, but it looks so amazing, and I love Christmas. So it really hits me in me little old, dead, old, dry, frozen over heart.
Yeah.
It hits me in my Shrine to Monkey.
Your Shrine to Monkey. It does look really, visually pleasant.
Absolutely.
You kind of forget how beautiful Overwatch actually looks, because a lot of the time you're playing on lower graphics to maximize that performance. But I mean, you see the snowflakes around on the Ultra, you see the lights and everything like that. It really is a visually stunning map.
Absolutely, yeah. It's only going to be more fun for them to play on. And I want to point out this little setup here in a line behind this statue from... well, I was going to say MAGNOLIA, all hiding, but Sports Kid is just, I don't give two anythings, and showing the entirety of their shield.
Yeah, Sports Kid's just saying, come at me, I'm here, what are you going to do? As we see the Reaper actually coming out now on the side of Ambition Lust. They've actually tried to get into the hotel, but a great Maywall managed to catch out Voidbreaker. That's going to be the Zarya going down immediately. Immortality Field has been forced out. We see the counter pick coming up from Quickie EXE, but he goes down as Racing Police. Now we're going to see the push into the hotel here, trying to catch out the players from Ambition Lust. As we see Nimmy get vocalized, Flex Tape get mapped, Dave Pokemon manages to go down to Flex Tape, and Spoon gets Duckside, and Voidbreaker's just instantly going, you know what? Maybe Zarya isn't as good as D.Va, and immediately swapping.
If you ask me, I disagree, but at this point, anything that they run seems to be getting diffed. So Lust, they're going to roll out their second fight again with a renewed vigor, run that Reaper in. They can win this if they can target the right people, but Nimmy is just getting away from Reaper, and now Reaper is blocked off by their own Mei, and another team shatter except for Lucio. Damage left, right, and center there, Harry, and there are the picks with Flex Tape taking Vocalize out. It is a win for MAGNOLIA. They're rolling back to spawn with only Lucio on a sliver of health, and Matt Oh boy, Harry, this is painful.
I have no idea how Sports Kid managed to live that long. There was no reason for him to live that long. He actually got walled off by his own Mei and a combination of Matt's wall as well.
Yeah.
And so he just literally stood in the middle of them swinging until he got an Earth Shatter. He's about to lap Cookie for an Earth Shatter here. He is playing so aggressive. The tempo has been absolutely insane from the side of Magnolia as we see the window coming out now. High Noon actually getting the feel for it, and Dave Pokemon goes down. Immortality Field's been forced out as well. Sports Kid now. He's getting really aggressive. Look at the pin straight in. Death Blossom coming up, and Immortality Field manages to nullify a lot of that effect. So the Stroke manages to take out Duck Side, and it's going to be another lost fight, but Flex Tape going down late should mean that Magnolia can reinforce, but they need to get out and reset a little bit before they can do that. They have a little bit of time before the Mei and the Baptiste gets there.
Just look at this, Harry. Look at the way that Magnolia are splitting them up, or at least that they're splitting themselves up. Last, they roll into this fight, and then Reinhardt is left out in the open while Dave Pokemon goes back to get someone, and they feel like fabric that's way too thin being torn apart. It's look, they've got some ultimates online now. Magnolia do as well, so they need to use these better or lose this game.
Yeah, as we see a Blizzard coming out early, Duckseye actually managed to get the flick on the Flex Tape, and a big Shatter coming out now. Both sides actually get kind of knocked down there, but it's a Mayo on the backside of that actually cracks it open now for Ambition Lust. They're going to be able to move on to first point here, and they will take it in the end after some great play from the side of their tanks there, actually. Really breaking that open.
I'm surprised they took that, but well done to Lust for taking that win. They will roll on to win first point. No one can come back and contest this, and even if they try, they have everything to stop them. Matt is waiting in the way with that Maywall. There's a Lucio boop. There's the point flip. Big stun for Magnolia there, and we do lose Nimi in that fight. There's a bomb getting chucked in. It's going to get blocked for the most part by the shield. Sports Kid is on top of the game here, and now Kant's going to roll forwards. 5 players from Lost on point. Magnolia all the way rolling back. They're just missing the 1 player, and it does happen to be the Lucio, the fastest player in the game. So we're looking at a 5v5 right now with advantage to Lost, Harry.
Yeah, we are, and it's looking like they're just going to try and take this fight just immediately. We see the Divas jostling for the high ground there, trying to keep that positioning. And with the window coming out there, they're just going to be able to push past. They're just camping the corner. It wasn't really a well-placed window. So we see a Maywall actually coming up just to block the LOS more there. Immortality Field is forced out now, trying to keep Cookie EXE alive. High Noon comes out, doesn't really get a lot of value eaten by Spoon right there. They're trying to push into the hotel on that right side, but they're not really going to be able to do it. The bookstore there, and with a Diva going down, that is going to be the end of the fight.
Yeah, it's a Magnolia win again. The proactive use of ultimate there really did change the way that fight went. And even though they stuffed themselves in a corner and the cart could have rolled past them, they were close enough to counter that. And with such a threat behind that window there, the Lust just did not have the ability to move in the open. They're going to roll back into another fight here, and I'm willing to bet they're committing that Mayo.
Oh,
get tucked in and eaten by Diva. There's a bomb getting thrown in now for Magnolia, and it's going to find... at least, actually, the remake finds Matt, so this is another Magnolia win, and look how split Lust are right now. They are just all over the map. They don't seem coordinated right now, Harry.
Yeah, that was Matt. I don't know what he expected there. He walked at the Diva and just threw his ult. Didn't try and freeze him, didn't do anything. He just walked at it and threw it. Which we see Sports Kid with the Earth Shatter here. Blocking the Earth Shatter and getting a 3-man in return. That is just an absolute MTD. On the freeze on the Diva there. Sports Kid has just walked past the window saying, I don't care about this. He is just waddling forward. He's killed 3 of this fight. He is an absolute menace on this Reinhardt, Sdogga.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really, really unfortunate game for Lust. They cannot build the momentum here, and that's the key that they are looking for. When they get an opening, they do momentum it, but it's very difficult for them to sort of function as 6 players and keep that momentum rolling. They haven't had the chance to push forwards at this point. They come out with another Mayult here, and it does actually hit the ground and start to cast. It's going to find Sports Kid, but Sports Kid's getting so supported from the backline that Lust are going through this fight slow, and they're forced to commit ultimates here.
Yeah, it is a very slow fight. You're right, Duckseye managed to find Tracy. At this moment in time, it's just dying on point for the side of Magnolia because they know they're just going to be able to force out the time. Sports Kid almost has another Earth Shatter, by the way. At the start of that fight, he had 73% after using it. That is absolutely insane ult charge generation. Do you think coming in, especially with the ult differential, do you think this is going to be a fight win here for Ambition Lust?
if Lost can play this right, and they need to use the ultimates they have, they need Void Break's bomb to work and work very well, they can take this, but it's going to be super difficult. There's the window coming out for Magnolia. There's the bomb getting thrown in, Harry.
Yeah, that is actually a really nice bomb. They forced out the immortality field and they managed to stop the window from really getting a lot of value, but the blizzard comes in and the freeze, and it's overtime. Spoon takes out 2 with a great charge coming in from Sports Kid. Duckside didn't manage to take out Tracy Please, but it just will not matter. Sports Kid lays down the Earth Shadow with 2 on the floor. Duckside and Void Break going down. Dave Pokemon trying to stall it out for as long as he can. He's 95 to his feet. He won't get there, and in the end, it's just a Mayol too difficult to overcome.
Yeah, look, let's talk for a second about how surgical Magnolia are playing right here. The way they pulled back to give that point in order to force Lust into an overtime fight, great win. That's the type of play that shows that you're not here to just outclass and outperform an opponent, but actually take the game seriously. And I'm really, really impressed that what they did there, rolling away from that fight, force OT, and then give Lust a rock and a hard play situation, that was the right play. And they're doing well. Lust are doing well as well. It's just really difficult for them to find a good way in. Honestly, I feel like almost like they're not playing on their mains and they need to make a switch here. If they can switch some heroes, pick a different composition, or maybe just go on something to meme, just to give them a chance to try something different, it might be enough to break Magnolia. And I believe that once Lust do start momentum and start rolling the cart for more than just a couple meters before they get stopped again, they will then be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I think this first point hold is it is crucial for the side of Magnolia. They need for the side of Lust, sorry, they need to get some of this time off the board before it gets to second point, because otherwise it's just going to be so difficult, especially against the May, because Blizzard is almost a guaranteed fight when you think about it, and with no Diva on the other side, it's going to be so much easier for him to get those Blizzards out. As we see them now just walking out, they're just going to be trying to maybe hold close and try and be a little bit more aggressive. Great flashbang actually straight away, and the bubble forced out immediately. Maywall doesn't really get a lot of value, but that's 3 people walled off there. Immortality field used on both sides, but it's Crab Dentist that go down. Charge not really finding anything, but Sports Kid with a counter charge managed to find Cookie EXT. Dave Pokemon did find Tracy Please, but it's so much of a better trade for the side of Magnolia. They have the respawn advantage coming in. Maywall again not really finding anything, and it's such a fast ult generation for the side of Baptiste there. Shatter as well. Sports Kid is absolutely insane. 2 people on the floor, and that is the first point. Gonna be slowly going over towards the sides of Magnolia, and despite the window, I don't think Vocalize is gonna be able to turn this.
Yeah, Vocalize trying very hard right here, but it's not going to work out. Good fight from Lost to begin that, but it's just not enough, and with the spawn advantage, Magnolia can roll back onto this cart. We're going to roll through to essentially second point directly after this. They're going to try and counter Harry. Dave Pokemon is going to roll over the cart, but it's not going to last for too long. The team is there, but just not close enough, and the Maywall does block them off. Immortality isn't going to get anyone killed, and they're committing the May onto this fight. Oh, Harry. Oh, boy.
He shatters?
This is rock and hard place at this point for Lost.
This is terrible. This is terrible if you are Lost right now, because you've just used your Shadow, you just used your high nuke, you've used your windowing, you didn't really get a lot of ult generation back on that. I don't see this as a win apart from the fact that you managed to force the Blizzard out.
Yeah,
but
rolling
even then,
to final point here, Harry. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're giving up so much coverage.
Yeah, final point right here, and there are 3 ultimates online for Magnolia and 1 for Lust. Lust have just used it. It's the grab. It's in there and doing some work, but Sports Kid does find 2, and Spoon's... the bomb from Spoon is going to find 2 more. So it is a 2-person fight for Lust only, and it's not going to last long. Vocalize only has half health left. Matt is chucking the ultimate in desperately, but it's not even close enough to block anyone on cart, and Sports Kid is waiting with a shatter that's going to find almost the entirety of Matt's health. It's not winnable for Lust, unfortunately, and that is a Magnolia point.
I don't know what to say to that, I'll be honest, Sdogga. That was really, really odd. You can tell they're having communication issues within this game, because right there they use, as we see Sports Kid again, just dominating on the Reinhardt as he's one to do. You could just see them there. They used the Graviton Surge to engage the fight, but the rest of the team was so scared, and got walled off because they weren't ready to go aggressive.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
You
the
lose
entirety of that
Reinhardt
game
immediately.
Yeah, it just looked a little bit like it was adapting on the fly, just taking it as it comes, trying to work it out as you go. Unfortunately, it's not enough from Lust to be able to win against Magnolia, who looks so dominant. They have a plan. Sportskid is really playing amazingly on the main tank role. Spoon absolutely backing up. The D.Va is deadly from Spoon. Tracy with the noons, Tracy with the shots, burning health. You don't see Tracy in the kill feed all the time, but when they are there, it's because they are finishing just about the entirety of the team. You could see it in how frequently High Noon is getting pulled out, that they're doing work. The rest of Magnolia are supporting the crap out of the team, and Lust just, they're not quite as cohesive. The glue is a little bit dry and crusty. It's not quite holding them together as well. And the slower ult generation, the fact that they can't roll that card forward quite as far. Look, it's really tough. Let's see though, what can they do now that we are rolling on Havana?
Well, Havana is interesting because you can see straight away they're not on the Reinhardt.
Yeah.
I think that will be
I think this is
very
good,
helpful.
honestly.
I don't know about the double bubble on the attack here. I can see it working, but you need to be very cohesive with double bubble, and it's one of those things where you're really hoping that Matt is actually like on fire with this Echo pick, especially if Duckseye is going to play the McCree and not the Tracer to help support getting the picks on the low health targets. I don't see it working out too well, especially against the actually, to be fair, the Farah there is going to be pretty hard countered by the Echo and the Widowmaker now, as we see a couple of early shots being taken by Duckside.
That's
and then
if
he's
Matt
just
is
going
up
to
to
go back
that
and swap.
fight, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just going to go swap.
Duckside's going to do some work here against Farah, but they need to keep on to that, and that's going to mean that they are down a team player here, Harry.
Yeah, Cookie actually misses his jump, but he manages to force the Farah out of position just a little bit, and FlexTape's just coming straight back over the top. He doesn't really, he's not respecting it, and that's why he falls there. Now we see Matt just camping that resurrection, not allowing it to go off. The Orisa and the D.Va just holding the high ground there. They're contesting this point really, really well right now. They're not really allowing it to get any free push at all, as we see Sportskid just go on the flank of the Orisa and they take out Matt. We see a dive coming in from Cookie, but he actually just doesn't make it onto the high ground again. He's being kept off this high ground so well by the side of Magnolia, and FlexTape has managed to get himself back in. Now they're without their Echo, who actually managed to get res, sorry. It's going to be a little bit of a retreat as they try and sustain. As I say that though, Void Break actually managed to find Nimi, and Dave Pokemon uses the Valkyrie. Now they're going to be trying to get as aggressive as they can with the Nano Boost onto the Monkey right there. Bob going onto the point right now, but gets slept absolutely immediately. They're still not able to take this high ground though. They sustained up there for so long. Dave Pokemon is the one who actually has to take out FlexTape in the end. And the Primal Rage is invested with a window up on the high ground there, just forcing it out. He does manage to find Crab Dentist, and this looks better for Ambition Lust, albeit a little bit scrappy.
Absolutely. The way that Magnolia played this to begin with, great stalling on the cart there, but no one on Lust has been knocked out, and if they have, they've rolled back. This is amazing. Cookie is doing so much better on that tank, and it's paying off. Look at that barrage from FlexTape, but Matt is there with two.
Matt.
Echo countering the crap out of the Farah. This is working really, really well for Lust.
Yeah, Matt doing absolutely insane there, getting a great copy onto the Farah, recognizing that the Farah was the correct hero to copy there. Is a skill that a lot of Echoes don't actually understand, or don't really think about too much, because a lot of the time when you're playing it, you'll go, oh yeah, I'm just going to copy the main tank, or I'm going to copy the off tank. In this situation where they're all gathered like underneath the cart, there's no point in just copying the Orisa. You may as well copy the Farah and just make that play of getting your ult so quickly, as Voidbreaker actually forced to flex tape, and the Valkyrie comes out from Nimi here. This fight looks rough on the side of Ambition Lust, but they managed to get the res on Void Break. That's interesting. I don't know how they managed to get that off. And it's just gonna be, it's gonna be about coming in from Dave Pokemon here, and a Nano Boost. Vocalize goes off the map. What?
Oh no, Vocalize must have been so far back to get knocked off the map, but they are making up for it. Cookie finds FlexTape in this fight, so it's a 5v5 effectively right now, Harry, and Magnolia, they don't quite look as dominant as before. Cookie knocking Crab Dentist away from this fight. It's so spotty. There's little fights going on here and there and people looking for health, but it is going to be a Magnolia flip here, just with the help of that Bob as well, Harry.
They invested both their support ults into that.
They did. Vocalize is rebuilding fairly quickly, but...
And Primal as well. Like, you lose your honor so early. I don't think you need to invest any ults there. You were getting the push anyway because you'd already gotten a trade kill earlier in the fight. You can just wait for your honor to come back.
Both DPS ults are online though, Harry, so maybe this is the goal. Duck, I was about to say he's out of this fight, but they are res, so that's helpful, but no supports now, and they're choosing to take this fight and then leave the fight to go in the back end. It's part of fights like this that make Lust look as scrappy as their performance has been so far. Although, maybe they can take this back. They're getting staggered right now, so this is super unfortunate for them. They copied!
Huh?
They copied a life
you
save?
really... No, they copied the Farah there to try and keep themselves alive. They forced the Valk out, but Cookie should go down here. He's really, really far forward. He actually managed to get out. Great heals coming out from the side of Ambition Lost here. And you managed to force the Valkyrie out. High noon from spawn. Duckside, what just happened there?
Duckside has had a major FF moment. That's a certified fat finger, my friends, because High Noon at spawn is only more useless for McCree, or should I say Cassidy. The quadruple on the Farah ultimate and a fifth to just clean it up. Void Break might as well jump off the side of the map here if they can, just to reset, despite the fact that they're at spawn. Lust, you've got to be lusting for some better luck than this, man.
I don't know how you could say it's not been their ambition so far.
Yeah, I know, right? They really are. They are ambitious, I'll give them that, but they're lusting for a win that seems just outside of their grip.
Cookie is just being melted right now.
Cookie's out in front of this fight without anyone with them, Harry. They need to jump in as a team. Duckside is in the back, just kind of looking for a fight that they're not getting, so it's just this scrappiness that is splitting them off, and meanwhile there's a Bob on card. They're not really going to roll anywhere.
Yeah, Assault Destruct actually managed to find Vocalize, whose Immortality Field was used to try and counter the Bob. Now they're without the Baptiste, they swapped the Baptiste? That was an interesting swap. Gets resurrected straight away, but Tracy manages to find Void Break. That's a great pick, but Duckside managed to find Crab Dentist on the other side. Sports Kid finds Dave Pokemon, and Flex Tape finds Matt. Just like this, the fight seems to be falling apart again for Ambition Lust. Crab Dentist gets resurrected, and Cookie, despite finding Sports Kid, is going to go down to Flex Tape. That's another 5k life for him right there. Crab Dentist finds Vocalize again, and 40 seconds left. And they have made no progress on this second point. They
rolled straight to this point and have not gone any further. In fact, the cart has rolled back around the corner. Duckside's out of this game, which is really unfortunate because they need every hand that they can get here. And unfortunately, 33 seconds on the clock right now, Harry. And I'm not sure that Lust are going to roll this 2-second point. They certainly can. They have a Grav online. They can roll Cookie into the front line. They do not have Shatter. They do not have Beat. But maybe they can steal one of those with Copy and still make it work. But they need all of their players out here. And losing Duckside at the last second is just so painful. Can I interest anyone in Shrine to Monkey while you're here, by the way? Would anyone like Shrine to Monkey?
Pray to Monkey because... genuinely, I think that's what Ambition need to do right now. They need to pray to the monkey gods because their performance tonight it's not been good. I'm just going to say it straight. It has not been a good performance for the side of Ambition Lust. It has been disappointing for them.
This looks like a ready up from the side of Lust, Harry. I'm just checking on the chat right now. A quick update from the team. They're saying they're going to keep going. So for anyone uncertain, the way the rules work, they do have a set amount of pause time that I'm fairly certain they wouldn't have used up yet. However, because Vocalize cannot play, they cannot get this roll subbed for mid-game. So they're going to play it through. 30 seconds on the clock, 5v6. Lust are going to try and take this win with Grav and Echo. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, well, they've just used a speed boost to get across the bridge there, and Vocalize has been called out. Immediately has to use his Immortality Field. He's on fire. Tracy actually goes down to Matt. That's a good pick, but Matt gets traded out for that. We see the Valkyrie, and we see the Bongo straight away used. Res onto Tracy, please. Spoon gets Vocalized, and it's just going to be a huge barrage coming out from Flex Tape despite being grabbed, and that is going to be that.
Yeah, look, I think they knew it was going to happen there, and it was just not prolonging the inevitable at that point in time. Lust, they could have taken that, but it was a huge effort. And honestly, I can understand them taking some of their pause time in back pocket and just letting it go. They get to reset this here. Maybe Vocalizer's game starts to work again. They do have the option of pausing now that the game is over, and they can restart, or not restart the game, of course, but just reset themselves back at spawn with an even playing field. But Vocalizer's game is not working from what I can see in the chat. So it's going to be a 5v6 to finish off Havana. And look, Harry, I hate to say this, but they are down 2 points, and the winner, if it's Magnolia, takes this entire game. Lust are really, really going and fighting an uphill battle here.
Yeah, I mean, they already were, and now they're trying to rely on the cheese comp here. They're going with the Bastion double shield. They're gonna put their all into it, and I respect that. I respect that the effort to come up with something that might work in a 5v6, in a 5v6. I'm trying to think of the word. I've just had a little bit of a mind blank there. 5v6 situation. There we go. I respect the attempt to try and do.
Yeah, the most they can here in this situation.
In that situation. Oh.
Totally, yeah. Bastion, so double shield Bastion with the Mercy for Rez and the Baptiste to keep them alive. This is a lot of damage. It's just relying on Matt's aim at this point. Flex Tape pouring those rockets in from the top, and they do find Flex Tape. Bastion working out. They cannot Rez because it's in the ocean, or the river, or whatever you particularly want to call that. So that's pretty useful. It does make this a 5v5. They've evened the playing field, but the playing field was already a bit skewed to begin with. They are blocking Arna's heals right now. So there's a bit of a move.
Yeah, now that they've gotten the point underneath them, though, they need someone to drop down, and Void Break was the one to do it with both of the supports. So now they're losing a lot of that positioning that was really good for the Bastion in the first place. In fact, they're all off the high ground now. It's so much easier, but Matt takes out Flex Tape. It was a two-man anti-day, but Matt on the Bastion is putting in so much work, taking out the Pharmacy all by himself. Tracy, please, trying to get just a little bit of value done, does take out the Immortality field, but they're unable to get really any kills. Sports Kid goes down to Vocalize, and this has been a really good defense.
I can't believe that the Bastion is working here, Harry, but it is. Everyone, take a quick look over at Tracy, please, in the other corner of this point right here, above point 1. You can just see them on the edge of your screen right now. There is a very big chance for Tracy Please to come in here with a pulse bomb. They don't have it online yet, but it's not hard to build. And there's a hack onto Bastion. Bastion loses all HP and gets dived by Tracy, so this could be it, Harry.
Yeah, that could be it. You're definitely right. They used the tank configuration. He does manage to take out Crab Dentist, but it was just too late. It was a great play to try and stabilize that, actually. From the side of Ambition Lost there, they used the Immortality field perfectly to allow the Resurrect onto the Bastion, but a two-man anti-nade from Crab Dentist and the rest of your team just being collapsed upon, it was always going to be an uphill battle for that. Yeah, they do have the Graviton Flux here, so they may be able to get back in, and Matt has dropped over to the Tracer, and they do see the window coming out early with the Bongo actually being used as well. They do manage to catch the Winston and the Mercy in the Graviton Flux, but it's going to be the Valkyrie coming out now. Hack onto Cookie EXE. Doesn't really mean a lot, but great pulse bomb. Manages to take out Vocalize and do a lot of damage to Cookie EXE. Sportskid gets in, and they manage to take him out immediately with the Valkyrie from the side of Nimi. And it's just going to be Tracy Please cleaning up on this Tracer. 3 kills for him in this fight. And that is point 1 taken. 4 minutes left. It's rough. When we see the swap over to Hog from Void Break here, you really have to feel for him right now. Cookie XC and Vocalize both getting staggered out. In fact, it looks like the rest of the team might just get staggered out. Like, this is absolutely insane. Great kill onto Tracy from Dave Pokemon there. But again, they've given up so much space, and they're not really going to be able to get it back with just the Roadhog Orisa. Yeah,
Roadhog Orisa is already unique, but fairly unique at least, but this is going to be really tough. They're going to try their best. The unfortunate thing is they have that Sombra in the backline for Magnolia. The hack will come through and will disable the entirety of the team. Bomb comes through, does find one. Hack onto Vocalized, gets knocked out of this fight. Dave Pokemon is 1 and cannot get out of here. It's just Void Break and Matt, and look, they're doing their best, and I really respect this attempt, but the cart is going to roll around the corner, and there is the end of that match. Magnolia take an easy 3 points, and despite all of Lust's best efforts, they just could not cop the win tonight. Well played to both teams.
Yeah, well played to both teams. I think, look, it's really difficult to come up with closing sentiments for this match because from the get-go, it just seemed like one team was being quite heavily outclassed. And then obviously coming onto Rialto, having to play with 5 players is never a good thing.
Yeah, it's really not.
It was a respectable effort from Lust. If we want to focus on the positives here, which I do a lot more than I want to focus on the negatives, you did see a couple of good plays coming out from players like Cookie.
Absolutely, yeah, totally.
He, on the Reinhardt, he didn't look, up to sports kids level per se, but on every other hero that he played, he looked he looked more comfortable, to say.
Totally,
and I think the team
the Winston play was really good there.
Yeah, I think the rest of the team played more comfortably around his Winston rather than his Roadhog. So rather than his Reinhardt. Sorry, it was all the Roadhog from the start of this match. But I think if we look at it in a more positive light for Magnolia, Sports Kid had an absolute standout performance on the Reinhardt.
Yeah, Sports Kid did amazingly. Honestly, a real carry for Magnolia tonight, Harry.
Yeah, definitely a carry. Honestly, that might have been the most dominant Reinhardt performance since I've played.
Very humble, Harry.
We've got to loop it back somehow. But it's all good.
You must have been playing against me to get to diff that hard.
It's all good. We will be going to a short break before our next game, but stick around because we do have an absolute slobber knocker coming up. KE Agony going up against LEYLINE Wukongs, and I'm really looking forward to this.
It's going to be a great game. Yeah, I'm super excited, Harry. We'll see you on the other side of this. The game will not be far away. Keep an eye on your screens. We'll be right back.
Yeah, blocks out the Deadeye. They're going to break a little bit through. Oh no, Myra slept. Still holding onto that Graviton Surge and Urge Shatter out.
Shiny Hero going down early is not a good start.
Oh yeah, this is backfiring instantly. Taking out Temple. Oh, that's a big Diva Bomb.
Oh, great Graviton, and here comes Immortality of that Orisa. They're able to start moving the way forward.
Reflect, Amy took Goose out of the fight
To take down Ghostly.
Taken down by good EMP there from the side.
A lot of things, but he said no, and would
Blade does come through, cleans up Merrick, cleans up Don.
Kicks there, those big ones, and Ghostly gets 2. Diva Bomb, that might do a bit of damage. It does.
Great shot here. Deadeye as well to cover up a different angle.
Kaiju gets 3! No, this is not happening! So 100% he's close. Ghostly will get 2. Like they're gonna use losing
I don't believe and 1 HP are your Ascent champions.
That's a great Maywall though.
Yeah.
Mortals have awakened, gods of old. We rise from our slumber to reveal our true power. Focus fire. Now to strike. To strike.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to AAOL Season 13, Stage 3, Week 1. This is our second game of the night, coming at you just after we had a bit of a domination from ONG MAGNOLIA against Ambition Lust there. We're going to be coming in to this game, KE Agony versus LEYLINE WUKONgs, as we see Sdogga praising the monkey shrine right there. Hello, Sdogga.
Hi.
What were you praying for, sir?
I was praying to Monkey. Would you like to pray to Monkey with me?
I will always pray to Monkey.
I am summoning Monkey.
My friend. Pray to Monkey.
I'm praying for Monkey in game.
Speaking of monkeys, LEYLINE WUKONG coming in this match versus KE Agony, and it is looking to be an absolute banger of a game.
Yes.
Hopefully we get a few more maps out of this one. I'd hate for this to become a 3-0 after hyping it up so much.
I'm pretty excited. This one I think is going to be really, really even. I have seen different players on these teams go up against or with each other at different points in time, and I know that they've got what it takes to take it to the other team. Question is, what kind of work have they been putting in behind the scenes? It's always the unknown factor in games like this. Has this team's coaching been better? Has that team put in more practice? When did they form? So on and so forth. I reckon Agony, in terms of their long they've been together so long, they probably know each other really well and they know how to play together. But WUKONgs, they might have a little bit of an edge in terms of new compositions or coaching. Should be a lot of fun. Let's get into introducing them, because I know the teams are chomping at the bit to get started. So KE Agony on the first side of things tonight. We're welcoming in Crockett on the main tank role, Cressel on the off tank role, Sabertooth on the flex DPS slot, Mork on hitscan DPS, Squidgy and Apple rolling with main and aim support respectively. A team of blokes apart from Cressel. Looks like a decent roster if you ask me, Harry. This is a pretty neat setup. Doomfist should be pretty good. Sabertooth knows how to play the Doomfist. I have a lot of faith in players like Squidgy and Apple. I know they've been doing this for a long time, so they should really show us what it's got, what they've got. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I've played with every one of these players, and all of them bring something unique to the table. I'm really looking forward to seeing Crockett on this main tank here. No bias at all, obviously.
Yeah.
He has been playing in AAOL for a long time. Obviously, he came from Budget Selfless. They came second in Division 3. And, I mean, moving on, Agony here with this tank line of Crockett and Krez is looking deadly. And, I mean, it's no slouch for the rest of the team either, but Crockett is definitely who I'm looking for here to step up if they really want to shut this game out.
Totally, yeah. Crockett and Krez have been playing together for 3 years now. They've been playing in the scene since 2018. And this team is looking at the underside of a year's worth of playtime together. So there's a really, really, I suppose there's a lot of history here. That they've been playing a lot together. They got a lot of practice.
Yeah, they definitely have. And I also do want to add on that they have made the recent-ish coaching edition of Zupa actually
that's right, they have
them. So it'll be interesting to see whether his influence and experience within the contenders scene is going to have an impact on this team's performance. But moving on to their opponents over there, we have LEYLINE WUKONgs coming out with Barcode on the main tank, Fletch on the off tank, Sly on the projectile DPS, Drowsy on the hit scan DPS, Lottie on the main support, and Garfont on the aim support. And this is a team that has been around for a short amount of time. They were originally called Magic Monkeys. They came second last in Division 3 with their original roster, but are stepping it up in this division at the moment. It is going to be really interesting seeing how they perform now with a couple of new additions to their roster, and I'm really looking forward to Fletcher's off tank play here to boost them up, because I think you really need to look to him at this point in time. He's the longest member for the team, and I do think you need to keep him keep his performance in mind.
Totally, yeah. Fletcher's definitely a key one to keep an eye on, although I don't think that the rest of the team is going to be too far behind Fletcher's performance. Look, a couple of notes on the Wukongs. They were created on the 1st of July, so they are a new financial year creation. They have no previous tax information from the 2020 financial. They were originally called Magic Monkeys. They wanted to stick to a monkey theme and instead become Wukongs, which is a really, pretty good. I don't know what I was going to say about that. Their first roster came second last stage in Div 3, which included Danzy and Aqualo. But they are stepping it up in Div 2 with a new roster to get the win. Not sure if they will against Agony. That's just my personal little prediction there. But I hope they bring it well, because Agony could definitely take this all the way if Wukongs are willing. Every scrim, we play for a cookie from Drowsy. That's fun. I love that. Whoever gets the most environmental kills gets a cookie. I love that. Can I join this team? From the creation of the first main roster, Mystery made a promise that for every map win, we will get 1 cent. The only OG people from that roster is Garfons and Fletch, and they upped to $2.60. That's a lot of wins. Well done, guys.
I'm impressed. That's dedication right there. But look at this. We've got 2 different composition types coming out. Crockett on the Wrecking Ball here, and we see Reinhardt Winston coming out from the side of LEYLINE WUKO. This is odd. This is an odd composition. I think this is good though, because the Winston actually gives them the mobility needed to get on the back line so that they don't have to just play slow. But as I say that, Gar actually gets taken down by Sabertooth, and that's a massive anti-nade from Apple. 4 people straight away. Axolotl goes really, really low. He's still so low, but a charge off the map onto the crest. Mork goes down. Crockett takes out Axolotl, and Sabertooth goes down to Drowsy. Now it's just the supports and Crockett kind of hanging around on point. Crockett needs to be careful not to overstay his welcome on point. He actually takes out Mwahaha. But at this point in time, it's going to be a fight win for LEYLINE WUKONGs as the rest of the team starts to get back.
Yeah, close fight to begin there with Agony, but they were just so split off, and Wukong's rolled out with that initial, the typical, the teleport to the top of the map, first ones to point. They just dig in and stick the heels, and they're fighting against a wall. There's nowhere else for them to go, and look, Agony are doing it again. Crockett around the outside with the anti-nade in there. They're split, but they can win this.
Great anti-nade again. Apple has been absolutely insane so early on in this game on this Ana. Crockett goes down. They haven't really taken out the turrets yet, though. And Axolotl again anti-naded. They need to try and find his kills. Axolotl goes down to Sabertoothy, and the Simwall did come out. Wasn't really able to do a lot, though. And Fletcher got into the backline, managed to find Apple, but Walk finds Barcode. Sabertooth goes down to Drowsy. It's been a back and forth fight, but Drowsy's been left alone on the point. Manages to take out the Pharmacy and Crystal Key. And just like that, it's going to be another fight win for LEYLINE WUKONGs, moving up to 50% on this point.
2 swings and a miss for Agony. This is not looking great as we hit 50%. Look, I don't know if the Wrecking Ball is a great setup here. Crockett definitely knows how to play it. I know that much, but he's just not quite around the team at the same time. He's dipping in at the moment without anyone on the team. And it's asked for Mork to commit into that fight and lose it. Maybe they're just not quite playing together. Maybe they need to switch. I'm not certain, but look, Squidgy, Ultimate Online, Sabertooth, Ultimate Online, Apple, and Crockett, Ultimates Online. So it's Agony's to lose at this point, Harry.
Yeah, this is going to be another far. Yeah, straight away, like I said, Saber with 3, just instantly, absolutely nothing they could do about it. Axolotl did invest the sound barrier into it, which is going to be a little bit of a waste as it fades away. Crockett gets a move off into Mwahaha. Just like that, it's going to be a really quick fight win. And that's good because it gets it before 90%. So they'll have a little bit of time if they lose the point to actually set up for an attack again. As Fletcher swaps over to the Diva.
Yeah, look, they flipped it. I'm glad they did, but 90% on the clock for Wukongs, Harry. So it's... Look, if Agony flip this, they're not going to be able to get back, even with Crockett on that ball. They need to stay on top of this. Huge anti-nade. Mork takes that fight and the win onto Axolotl, so that's really, really huge. And it looks like an Agony win, Harry.
It does look like an Agony win currently. They did use the AAOL and they did get a big shatter, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to turn it. Fletcher goes off the map and it's just going to be the fight win going over to Agony. They have a Valkyrie and the Barrage as well coming in. Also, I do want to say that Mork swapped over to the Doomfist off of Tracy. He needs to be very careful so he doesn't get caught out here, but I think he is going to get caught out. That is a really, really early kill for the side of LEYLINE WUKO. They're just going to try and push in straight away. They swapped over to the Moira as well. They're going to be building up on that, onto the Koalas Esports very quickly there. Valkyrie invested, but Crockett's still going to go down. Sabretooth coming in over the top with the barrage. Managed to take out both supports. No Koalas Esports is available now. With no supports there, Squidge is going to be able to get the res onto Sabretooth. Fletcher couldn't interrupt it, and he actually invests a lot of his cooldown to that. Maha goes down on the side there, and with a ping coming in, Barcode will be taken down by Mork. That is a very good fight for the side of Agony right there.
Now that they're dug in, Harry, this feels like the Agony that I know, and this feels like what Wukong's weakness might be. They are all set up here. Mork is on the high ground, Crockett is on the high ground, Sabretooth waiting to get that damage, and look at Wukong's just kind of rolling in split. I think this is where Agony flipped this around, and we do see we're up to 90-90 right now, Harry, so it is basically the next fight win.
Yeah, it is at the moment, as we see the Wrecking Ball actually almost going off the point. Barcode really needed to be careful. Nano Boost invested onto Sabretooth right now, and they're trying to get right onto Drowsy. Drowsy was so far forward, there was really no support for it. Axolotl takes out Mork, and the overtime is now ticking down. Self-destruct used, but Crystal Key gets into the back line and takes out Garfron while the self-destruct was in the air. Now Fletcher's trying to move up to the point, but Crocker gets Axolotl, and it's just going to be one by one, everyone going down. Barcode did manage to poop off Apple, but it's just going to be in the end. Slowly, LEYLINE WUKO are going to fall, as we see a little bit of the score coming up from Barcode, but he will eventually fall. The Echo is on the point, but taken out, and it is finally going to go down. Mwahaha, the last touch on the point. They're stalling this out so well, there. But unfortunately, not well enough. First round going over to Agony.
Oh, wow. Agony taking that first one. That looked like a Wukong's wing. Wukong wing. That looked like a Wukong's win right there. But Agony, well done to flip that there. Look, I think Crockett rolling on that ball was not the problem that I said it was initially. Mork switching to Doomfist was a great gate opener for Agony. It paved the way, just knocking a few people out of place and disabling a couple of key abilities for enough time that Agony were able to either roll in and knock them off the map or deal some damage. So, look, props to Agony for winning that. Notice that there is a Junkrat on Agony's side, but no Junkrat on the side of Wukong's right here. So a little bit of a different composition. Sorry, Harry, just as we start this fight.
Yeah, most definitely. And in fact, the May Wall actually came out and didn't really cut anyone off. Crocker needs to be careful. He can't really be too aggressive. They're playing a much slower composition with the spam, and Apple has already had to use his Immortality Field. So now it's going to be about whether or not they reposition. Crocker is just kind of chilling out on the corner there, trying not to have his shield broken, and he walks through. He gets immediately walled off and immediately taken down. That was a really interesting decision coming up from Crocker there. I don't think it was the right one, as we see Mork just get charged off to the side. Drowsy found Sabretooth, and it is going to be Wukong just taking the point first, and they built up towards that window and towards the shatter extremely quickly.
Yeah, it looks like Wukong's are the stronger fight initiators the first time we roll out of this map, and I'd be really interested to see if we get to, say, 50, 60, 70% before Agony actually take this back. They need time, it seems, to adapt to a game and make the switches that are necessary. Still, here we go into this fight. Barcode with ultimate online for the side of Wukong, so this could well go in their favor.
Yeah, it definitely couldn't. They're actually going up to the high ground. This is an interesting rotation.
I like this.
I don't know what they're going to do from here, though. As we see Apple actually...
they're teleporting across.
And they use the window. This is insane gameplay coming out from the side of Agony, because it means that they're able to force them to the point, and they're able to take it slower. We see Garfon's using a window, and a huge shatter coming out from Barcode. Just two on the ground, but Barcode goes down. Mork was taken down as well, and we see now the Riptire used on the side of Agony. He's looking for the Baptiste, and he finds the Baptiste. Garfon did find Skidgy before he dies, though, and Crocker goes down to Drowsy. Drowsy's been left alone to the point. He's managed to find two straight away. Three, and Axolotl takes out Sabretooth. That is going to be another fight win for LEYLINE WUKO, and this is going exactly how the first map went. Can we see Agony turn it around again?
I feel like that was the fight that Agony needed to win, and that was the fight that they intended to win. They had the strategy, they committed the ultimates. They do still have some online, to be very, very fair. They are not out of this yet, but I feel like that's where they thought they would take this, and Wukong's still in control here.
That was an interesting teleport. In fact, they're just going to get all fluxed in the air, and that's 3, 4, 5, 6 down. Team kill right there, and that is going to be the point. And that's probably going to be the end of the round as well. Absolutely dominant from LEYLINE WUKO. They look so good in this reinhardt composition. so synergized. As we see a huge shadow actually coming up from Crooked. Get into it to point. What is happening? They use a blizzard to get there.
Squidgy's on point, Harry.
To get his way onto point. He has sound barrier as well. He's going to be able to stall this out just a little bit. He uses the sound barrier. It's a 1v1 of the point right now between Squidgy and Axolotl. He's trying his hardest to stay on this point for as long as he can. Crockett's coming back on the wrecking ball. He needs to stay on there. Squidgy goes down. Can Crockett touch? Crockett manages to get on the point, and it is so close. Crockett getting touch again. It gets there again. It's a window coming in, but no one's going to be able to touch the point anymore. And that was a great effort to try and store that point out. But in the end, it's not really going to matter. We see LEYLINE WUKO take the second point.
Jeez, wow, good try from Agony there. I could see the victory in the way they played those fights. They were ready for that. They should have won that, but they were outplayed by Wukong's as they took that fight. Maybe it was just literally the difference between Wukong's out-aiming through their shields and through their shatters and so on. Very, very close between those two teams. Really, really tight play. I hope they can do it again here. Agony really do need to start this fight dominant and control. If they're in control, they can gatekeep Wukong's to the very end. Wukong's can do the same to them, and they've just been diffing the start of those fights, just slightly beating them. Here we go, rolling out with Barcode on the ball.
Yeah, they are rolling out with Barcode on the ball. They didn't actually get the hack, but it doesn't matter. Barcode just got absolutely dominated. That was great. Great aggressive play coming out from the side of Agony, and they're trying again to get as much value as they can. They're trying to push them away. Morcus so aggro. He just walked forward and just said, what are you going to do? I am a Reaper. And they're going to be looking to come back in straight away. There's going to be a really fast re-engage.
Believe it or not, Agony just buggered the point and went straight through to spawn, just forcing the team away. That's a map. Oh, off the map!
Yeah, most definitely. Squidgy's just actually gotten the boop off onto Garfons and takes out Barcode as well. Apple manages to find two. Both supports on the side of Agony have found all the kills. That is absolutely insane gameplay coming out from the side of Agony right there.
And notice that Apple now has Ultimate practically online as a result of that, and Squidgy halfway there. The only thing that saved 5 members of Wukong from an environmental is the fact that they have movement abilities. Oh, wow. Well done. We're just rolling into this next fight here as Harry resets that mic of his. Second fight going on right now. It is a 36% on the clock, and Apple using that ultimate ability that I said was just online. It does find Garfon, so this is working out pretty well, and Barcode is jumping into this fight. Mork has ability online, and he's going to use that ultimate to find 2. Fletcher and Barcode out of this fight, finds a third onto Muhaha. So this is an Agony win now, and they roll back onto this point. No time for Wukong's here. They have not managed to cap this point. This is what I was talking about right at the start, Harry, where Agony need to take the point first from Wukong's, and then they can control this. They just don't want to let that first fight go.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but Wahaha on the Echo really isn't getting a lot of value. As I say that, he does copy the Winston and tries to get in the back line, and Drowsy manages to find Crockett. Sabaro coming out from Squidgy though, but without the main tank, it's going to be very difficult as we see the Primal Rage now. And a big EMP, but it's all too late. 2 people on the side of Agony have fallen. They need to be able to follow up with some kills, but they're unable to. Fletcher got Squidgy, and Kretzwicki goes down to Drowsy. Drowsy found Apple as well, and more. That's 4 for the Reaper this fight. They're just going to stall out for a little bit. 5 for the Reaper in this fight. That is a really clean engagement, and they only used the copy. They have 4 ultimates on their side of the field.
Oh, that was so unlucky considering that Sabertooth's EMP found at least 4 players on Wukong's, including cancelling Drowsy's ultimate. Oh, you've got to be stinging a little bit if you're Agony right now. Either way, rolling through what we call White Corridor at the moment and up the back of point. Ultimates are online for Wukong as for Agony, so they're going to take this fight back here, and the bomb's rolling through to point, Harry.
Yeah, that's a really nice bomb because it actually meant that the Echo couldn't follow them in. Neither could the Lucio, and the Lucio on both teams has actually gone down. Crest and Crockett moving on to the point now, but the rest of the team is kind of stuck in that white room right now as we see the Reaper using the fade to get the mega health back. Barcode goes extremely low, but Crockett hits a 104. It's going to be a death blossom now coming up from Mork, but Fletch just found 2 in the back line. They did get the point flipped though, so they need to get back onto point. LEYLINE WUKO needs to be very careful not to give this up too much. 95% and ticking down. Crest goes down, Apple went down as well, and 99%. You can't be any happier right now if you're Agony. You managed to get the point flip, you didn't use too many ultimates, and you forced out a lot of ultimates on the side of Wukong's.
99%, Harry, for Agony. They didn't win that fight, but they did win that percentage back. So they are only a single fight win away from this game. Can they take this from Wukongs? That's the question. It seems like they've been getting ever so slightly the short end of this stick when they're taking these fights. Now that Wukongs have control, they may lose this. They are jumping in, so Crockett's going to use that ultimate very, very soon, and Fletch is actually demacked, Harry.
Great EMP! Great EMP! Cancels the Moira's coalescence there, and despite the sound barrier actually getting used there, Mwaha copying the Lucio, it won't matter. Crockett has gone absolutely bananas using the Primal Rage right there, as we see another sound barrier coming out from the side of Wukongs. It was the Echo sound barrier this time. Axolotl goes down though, didn't actually get any of it. Garfons goes down the ball, Crockett gets barcode. This could be it. Agony could be closing in on the map. One win right now. Death Blossom finds nothing. Fletcher with the self-destruct didn't really get anything, and it's going to be the overtime wick burning down as we see Agony bringing it to a close.
Yeah, what a play. Agony take that at the last possible moment, and they are dominant when it counts. What a play from Agony. It wasn't perfect, and Wukong certainly were not just sitting down and taking it, but wow, did they really do well to take that back at the last second. Well-deserved win for Agony all the way to game 3, to map 3 on Lijiang, so that gives you a taste of what should be in store coming forwards into the next couple of maps. Wow. Harry, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun, but I do want to point out that I think it was that second fight that got Agony the win. Because if you don't have Squidgy and Apple getting those kills so early, it meant that what would happen is that they'd be able, Leyline Wukongs would be able to build up to the ultimates at around the same pace as Agony. But because they got that such early kills in that second fight, they weren't really able to do it. And going into that mirror comp, like, it's called mini goats for a reason, because there's ultimates that are just absolutely game winning. They're fight winning. So yeah, every time that, you know, there's going to be any sort of ult difference, you always favor the team that has the ultimates in winning those fights.
Yeah, he's spot on, and that's the main difference between the games we saw earlier today and these ones. And well done to both teams there, honestly. I'd really like to point out for a second the way that Agony played around a different comp on Lijiang. They were not really standard, especially on that initial map with Crockett on Wrecking Ball. They played it well. They took the point away from Wukong's with a different comp. And that's what makes me think that Wukong's might have a little bit of a fight on their hands if they want to take this away from Agony, because they're not going to roll out on the normal thing every time. They're going to roll out on what they know well and what they're strong with. And it should give us a really enjoyable game to watch. We're rolling out now, Harry, onto Kings Row in wintertime. We've already been here once tonight. We're back again. I love the scenery, so I am happy with this. Now, Kings, it's a classic brawl map. It's just the stalwart of pretty well all Overwatch. What do you think? Do Agony run with the brawl or with, say, a Wrecking Ball here?
I think looking at last map's data, you think you'd want to run the Wrecking Ball. You looked more comfortable on that than you did running the brawl composition against them. I mean, they got absolutely smashed. They got 100-0.
Absolutely.
In that one map where they mirrored the brawl, it was just an absolute domination from the side of Leyline Wukong. So I think you want to stick away from that composition as much as you possibly can if you are Agony.
Totally, yeah. I agree. In fact, this looks like the weakest of the setup that I expect from Agony. Not having seen them play, of course, but just this looks like probably the weakest so far tonight from what I've seen. I'm willing for them to prove me wrong, but they are going up against a similar tank composition, so at least that's not a huge chance of this being a different fight. Either way, we're looking at the gates open now, and Wukongs are rolling back into this fight. They are going through Hotel right now, Harry, so fight is going to happen on the corner of point, and here we go.
Yeah, that's not a good main ball from either team, actually. An Immortality Field is forced out so early on the side of Leyline Wukong. This is actually really well played at the moment for the side of Agony, and the shield has been broken. The charge coming in from Barcode. He's unable to really get anything with it, and it should just be a fight win in the end, although Crest did get a little bit over-aggressive and gets D-Mech. Garfont goes down, and Morph goes down as well. Charge onto the Diva Mech right there from Crockett, and they're going to be able to walk into the Hotel and clean up the fight. That was really well played from Agony. I think they played that much better than they played any of the brawl that they did on first point.
Extremely well played. Yeah, there were many chances there for Crockett to just absolute look like he was feeding his brains out, but he was supported well. He did not overextend like Barco did, and it was the difference between that tank surviving and not. Both immortality fields used here, Harry.
Both immortality fields used, but Crockett got flashed out of his shatter. So now it's both windows used, and it's a much better window for the side of LEYLINE WUKO. Just received Drowsy with 3 with the high noon. The Blizzard, be damned. They're going to just be walking in now. Is Drowsy going to be able to clean up any of these kills to pad his stats just a little bit? It doesn't seem like it. It looks like the rest of the team is going to be felled without him. Great opening from Drowsy, great opening from LEYLINE WUKO in general. And that's what you want to see.
Difference between ultimates used there, Harry. Honestly, I forgot exactly what I was trying to say. The shatter was what I was trying to come up with from Agony that got blocked. Was not blocked by Wukong's, and then the Blizzard's just not going to do much.
Great sound barrier. Great sound barrier. Manages to keep Crockett alive, and they've actually separated him. He's on the right side there. Big shatter. Huge bomb coming in. 3 people down, and they're unable to get Mwaha in the end. Chris actually used the self-destruct of her own, and now she's just going to have to go and die on cart so that she doesn't get staggered out too badly and they don't lose all of that point pressure. That was a really interesting fight. It was great ultimates used on both sides, but Crockett leaving his team to go and chase Mwaha was what ended that in the end.
Salt in the wound if you are Agony. That's an unlucky overextended fight there, and the cart's going to roll a long way now that it's through that sort of initial archway choke point. It's going to be a 0.2 fight right now, and Agony are back in this, Harry, but it's a lot of space to lose.
It is a lot of space to use, and they have to fight against the Blizzard as well. They will build one of their own if the fight goes on for long enough. That is a flashbang onto Crockett. He's taking that solo and the window. They need to push faster. They use the window of their own, and a Blizzard comes in. That is going to be the fight win just straight away. Wukongs have been executing these fights perfectly. It has been quite a bit of a diff here, I will say.
Something I want to point out in that fight was that Cressel split off fairly early in there, and so that was to chase Mwahaha on the Mei. The problem was that they never got that kill there, so Mwahaha, despite the fact that they were 1 HP, did get healed up a little bit and chucked that ultimate in. It's those kind of little small mistakes that you want to make sure you communicate if you're Agony. Try and push that fight, try and get that win, otherwise you're going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They actually used the Blizzard here, and they've cancelled the high noon. That was so perfectly played from KE Agony. And now they're just going to be able to push in. There was absolutely nothing anyone could do about it. High noon used. As soon as Immortality Field was forced out, they used the Blizzard and they just collapsed on it. Well played.
Yeah. This is a 4-minute 15 hold at this point, Harry. So Agony have their work cut out for them, and Wukongs have ultimates online, but they can do that. King's Row works.
No shield. No shield. That's 6 man on the 4. That was absolutely abysmal shield management from Crockett, and he's been punished for it, just like that barcode with a massive shatter. Managing to clean it up. Squidgy did find Drowsy again. Squidgy has been a constant bright light for Agony throughout this series, but just like that, it's over. That fight was over. They had such a good defensive position. 3 minutes 45 on the clock.
3 minutes 45, and that card has 4 players standing on it, Harry. It's rolling way too quickly towards the end of this. Crockett does have ultimate online, but it's going to be a hard ask. It's the wall was blocked, but they have boosted it up with their own wall, and unfortunately it's not going to work. Drowsy just clicks. Bomb gets chucked in, does get blocked. It only finds the Immortality Lamp, but look at the side of Wukongs. Everything is online. They blocked the bomb from Agony as well. It's Cressel in a corner, the rest of the team behind a wall. Oh boy, Harry.
Yeah, this is not looking good. Sdogga, as we see the Doomfist coming out now from Walk. He died on the McCree. He had to come back out. We did lose Squidgy as well, so they have no Lucio. They can't even engage on it. And it's Crockett going down to Drowsy. Drowsy can't save it as well. Great shadow down coming out from the side of Barco. Managed to do floor Cressel key. And despite the Mayo coming out, it's not really needed for the side of Wukongs. The point is going to be captured in the end. And it's going to be a 2-minute 50 time bank right there. Crockett couldn't get there to touch. And yeah, the Brawl v Brawl hasn't really looked great for Agony besides the first fight.
The difference there is really starting to split apart a little bit like an axe into wood. These two teams looked very, very even on Lijiang, but Wukongs are starting to prove themselves a little bit more, and it's looking tougher for Agony to play the way they are. It really is the micro stuff at this point. It's not a huge difference like we saw earlier tonight. It is Crockett losing a little bit extra shield health. It is Cressel chucking a bomb that gets blocked. It is, you know, a beat used too early or an immortality lamp forced out earlier than the other. That's the main difference here. So it is certainly not, you know, an enormous play differential between any of the players. The only point is that Wukong's are managing it a little bit better. They're doing it a little bit stronger, and Agony need to adapt, improvise, and overcome in this situation. I think Crockett and Cressel rolling out on the dive that we see here. Sabertooth has dropped out, so we're going to roll over to the pause screen. That's okay. At least the game has not started yet, and they're still in spawn with 20 seconds left on the clock. What I was going to say was Crockett and Cressel rolling on the dive tanks feels much better to me. It's not your stereotypical roll on Kings, but it is better. I believe that Crockett and Cressel will be able to work really, really well with this setup.
Yeah, I agree. And realistically, I think the main downfall has been that they don't understand what they need to do on that brawl composition. Like they're having one player chase after an individual kill, like on the right, and it's always been Mwahaha. Both times on that second point, we pointed it out. Mwaha's taken a weird off angle, and one of the tanks has just gone off by themselves to try and chase down the Mei. You're never going to get that kill. It's a Mei.
Yeah,
you know,
that's one of the worst fights you can take.
Yeah, it's kind of designed to take those 1v1s and just stall out time. And
yeah, if you put yourself in that situation, totally. I fully agree. You put yourself in that situation and you chase a Mei, you get yourself frozen out there, or at least slowed down, you are out of that fight, no matter whether or not you have 500 health as Reinhardt or 0. It's not a good situation. We've seen them both do it a little bit, but the difference is that Crockett maybe did that a couple more times, or at least was baited into trying, and that opened up the opportunity for the rest of the team to just take that fight 5v6, you know, just for the couple of seconds.
Yeah, I will say that Crockett's Reinhardt has left quite a bit to be desired on this map. You know,
putting it not too bluntly, I think.
He got flashbanged out of his first shatter. I don't even know if he got a second shatter in that game. His shield management has been a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
He really has not been a great Reinhardt game for Crockett. So I hope that now that he's on the Winston, the team around him feels more comfortable with him on it.
Totally. This is what I mean, though, when I say it's just a difference of managing abilities a little bit better. Like Crockett losing a little extra shield health just opens it up to get spams down, break it, shatter. Now the team has lost that fight, we move on to next. That's the only difference there, and it really is something the whole team can help by helping call stuff, make sure that they notify the player in that point, or you know, drop a couple hints. It's certainly not something it's something that they can fix. It's not hard for them to get to work around. The question is, can they do it in this round, or are we going to see them drop another point to Wukong's, or drop a point to Wukong's before they get the chance to do that?
I think if you do drop the point to Wukong's, I think you're kind of happy going into the next map, because they're both maps where Brawl isn't really as prevalent per se. I mean, if you go into next map, you're looking at Rialto and Junkertown. And Rialto, you can definitely run Brawl. I think you'd be more looking towards Junkertown if you are Agony. And you do lose this map. I think you're thinking, okay, well, the Brawl hasn't been working out for us thus far, so let's go to a map where it's so open that no one would ever think to play a Brawl composition.
Totally, or at least open up.
Yeah, and run Crockett on his comfort, on that Wrecking Ball, on that Winston. Don't try and force a composition that you may be worse at into it. It just doesn't need to happen. And then you go into Assault as well, and Hanamura and Temple, they're both pretty good maps to not run Reinhardt. You don't have to feel pressured into running Reinhardt. So for the next two maps, you're thinking for Agony, their composition style will suit them a lot better.
If I were Crockett in this situation, I would be heavily considering just dumping Reinhardt in the bin for the rest of the tonight and rolling with either Winston, Sigma, or Wrecking Ball as much as I can. I feel like Wukong's will suffer a little bit in front of his Winston. Will it be enough? I couldn't tell you. That's what I'm hoping to see in the next game, but I do think that's the right idea. Rolling out a spawn here, they have the right chance, but they are going up against Ryan Diva, so they're going to have to be very precise about this. Mork is going to have to get in that backline and deal damage away from Diva, where Diva cannot assist, cannot DM, can't steal that bomb from the pulse bomb from Tracer. That type of deal. Wukong's, on the other hand, stay strong here. They have immortality. They feed Lucio ultimate, and they get the sound barrier online. They have bomb, the biggest shield in the game. They've got Drowsy doing a lot of damage from the safety behind that shield. They just have to stay solid here, and they can take this all the way. It is a 2-minute 50 for them. We're about to set the time for Agony. I have a feeling that Agony can do this, but I am very, very curious to see what Wukong's doing in answer.
I think if they're going to run the dive composition, I think they're going to be slower objectively no matter what, because I think the composition takes a lot longer to get kills rather than the brawl composition. So I think even if they do complete it and let's say they win every fight, it's going to be stalled out for so long that I think they're just going to end up having less time on the bank in the end anyway, as we see Saber actually joining the game again. And I mean, I'm interested to see what he plays. I think maybe he'll go over to the Echo. If they're running the Mercy, I think that's what you would like to see him play here.
We'll cop a side of this as soon as we switch away from this pause screen. I think it's going to be full dive here. I'm gonna put in a little prediction. I'm gonna call Genji. We have Apple on Ana. We have Squidgy for Rez. I think Genji is a good way to get across through the high grounds here over to where, say, Garfons might be hiding with that Baptiste away from the enemy, force out that immortality lamp to save his own life, or drop his life and either way lose immortality lamp. That's what I'd be aiming for. I don't know if that's what they're going to do here, but that's my prediction.
Yeah, I think if you're Barcode and Fletcher, you just try and speed onto Apple. I don't think there's anything that you really want to do other than speed onto him. So you really need to be careful of your Apple. And Cressa and Squidgy need to be ready to get onto them there, because they're not just peeling against the tanks or anything, they're peeling against the entire team. So I think you really need to be careful with your Apple, and you really need to make sure that if you are going to die, you need to hit a big nade.
Say that one more time for the people in the back, Harry.
Yes, apologies. My microphone decided to fall away from me for a bit there. As we see them coming out on the Doomfist.
That's what they all say.
They're coming in on the Doomfist, actually, now, with the Echo. And, I mean, they're just going to go and hotel speed out into the... Yeah, they're just going to try and speed into the backline. Crest has been caught. And a great anti-nade, though, coming out. And it's going to be Walk trying to get an engage. Didn't really find anything. Crest got DMEC. And now it's Crocker going to go down really quickly. They do manage to DMEC. Fletcher, Apple did find Axolotti, and Wahaha went down. There's a great trade. Sabretooth has actually found Gar. They couldn't deal with him. It took way too long to actually get the kills. Fletcher goes down, and it's just going to be Barcode on the point. He goes down eventually, and that is going to be it. Fight going over to KE Agony. But again, if they were playing the brawl composition, they had to won the fight, this would have been done a little bit quicker. So they will still have a great amount of time on the board, though.
See, I think the brawl here is a misnomer for Agony. They aren't going to outperform Wukong's with brawl, I don't think. I think this is how they do it, and they might be sacrificing some extra time, but it's giving Mork, Sabretooth, Crockett so much room to roll. Cressel, Apple, and Squidgy just backing the absolute hell out of them, and I think this is how they do it. Look at the way Wukong's are currently backing off, just respecting that movement, that CC from Agony until they get the right chance. The purple cocomes in, the anti-nade. Oh, yeah. This
Great
is
from Walk. Great gameplay from Walk, actually stunning the High Noon there, and Crest actually helped him get out there. They use the Echo copy onto the McCree, and he's unable to really get anything done. As I say there, though, he takes out Barcode, uses the High Noon, manages to take a Maha. Crockett is in the back line. He's very angry. He just said, you know what, you rolled us on our attack, on our defense. We're going to roll you on your defense. It's an eye for an eye right now.
I'm sick of you diffing on Reinhardt, so I'm going to diff you on Winston. Honestly, power to him. Crockett is performing really well, and this is the difference they need. This is what I thought Agony might do here, and I'm really glad it's paying off, because this gives them hope. This gives them something they can run that they can play into Wukong's. Notice Muhaha now on that Reaper, so this is really painful. Huge anti-nade.
Straight away. Apple has been absolutely insane right now. Can they break the immortality field? They can. Now we have more backline trying to get onto the sports team, and it's just to find Axolotti. But can he get out? He actually finds Garforce as well. Both supports have gone down to the Doofus. Fletcher does find Crockett right now, but it's going to be another huge anti-nade. Fletcher very low right now. Crystal Gear actually got DMX. It's going to be a massive shatter now from Barcode. Manages to find 3 with that shatter. 2 going down. Squidgy tries to fight to the point. Apple has found Drowsy as he goes down there. Squidgy fighting for his life, but that is going to be the fight for Wukong's. But that was very, very sketchy.
That was a really weird fight to watch. I honestly thought Agony were going to take that one home with those initial picks until things just got flipped by that shatter, honestly. And now, well, it's Wukong's build, honestly. Wukong's 2 ultimates online and a couple more not far around the corner. Agony do have another 2. They've just had Apple's ultimate pop online, but they have to do a little bit of work to get there. I don't know if they're going to get stopped here.
Oh, Nano Boost into the backline right now as we see Crocker going in. High Noon trying to draw it out, but he manages to find Crocker. Crocker couldn't get behind anything in time. It was a massive anti from Apple as well. He's been absolutely insane on this Ana so far. Morph trying to get the instant kill onto the McCree right there, but he's stunned out and is unable to get out anywhere there. Sabretooth trying to back out, and it looks like the rest of Agony is just going to retreat now.
Yeah, Agony
2 minutes 50 on the board.
backing off. Yeah, totally. Agony were already backing off that fight, Harry. They were already on their way out of that fight, and Mork just could not get through. The High Noon with the sound barrier, keeping just so much health, enough to burn through Crocker with that nano blade. With that nano boost.
Saber really needs to be really careful. He got picked off by Mwahaha. He was just on the side. That was really well played. They're trying to fight for this Resurrect, trying to stay in the fight, but it looks like they're not going to be able to, and that might have been a mistake, because now they're caught forward. Squidgy needs to be able to get up, and Mork found Drowsy in the backline. So now they're going to be able to have an even fight right now. A DPS for a DPS, and they use the Valkyrie now. They can come back in. They can try and take this high ground as they actually get onto the Baptiste right now. They forced out the Immortality field. Crocker goes angry. He is so mad, but Squidgy is the one who finds the kill, using his Primal Rage, trying to disrupt everyone. Mork finds Mohaha. Fletcher with the self-destruct, trying to get another 2k or something. Couldn't really find anything, but he gets a remake kill onto Crockett. That could be massive. Resurrect comes in, though. Actually gets purple and is taken down by Mork with the meteor strike right there. And Barcode won't be wanting the Doomfist, takes him down, but Squidgy is the one who fells Barcode. And Fletch dying on point right now. Sabretooth used the duplicate to get the Devo copy, uses the self-destruct, it goes off of the map, but it forces the Immortality field out. They might be able to get a couple of early picks. Drowsy uses the High Noon, though, and they lose the point. So I don't understand the usage of that there. Maybe it was just to stop any potential advancement.
Yeah, stop that steamroll. Probably just an ability that you can chuck out to stop people from walking forwards. Honestly, if you're Drowsy, you probably don't care too much for High Noon. You could just aim. So yeah. I'd be willing to chuck that out and just stop Agony from rolling forwards. Well done to Agony, though. Got to call it out when it's due. They have taken this point. They have stopped being stalled here.
Yeah, they have stopped being stalled. They used the nano boost and go straight in. Wahaha got slept in the back line, and he's forced to try and fade up. But no, he comes back in and uses the Death Blossom, and a massive shadow coming up from Barco. That is going to be 2 ultimates and a team wipe coming out. That is great play coming out there, and it's just going to be a straight reset for the side of Agony. I mean, they're all dead. There's nothing else they can really do.
You know what? This is better if you're Agony. Have the whole team reset, have them use ultimates to do it. At least you can come back all together and you can start this fight all over from scratch. Just under a minute, Harry, on this clock, so we have plenty of time, but it is already a minute less than what Wukongs have.
It is quite a bit of time, but not if you lose your Echo just like that. But as I say that, great anti-nade onto Barcode and great work from Kresuke to push him out of the Immortality field. Now they use the self-destruct to get back into mech as we see the Valkyrie and the Primal Rage pop, but they're already 2 down. This fight, it's probably already lost as we see the swap over to the Soldier from Sabretooth. Crockett is already falling very low. This Reaper is doing chunks of damage. He's actually going back in, trying to find the kill onto Drowsy, but he's unable to get out. And that is going to be Crockett falling really late into the fight.
You don't want that if the whole team is going to be sitting here waiting for Crockett to come back now, and there are just ultimates central for Wukongs who are defending all of this card. Apple's got to be careful that he doesn't roll into the face of Muhaha at the top here. Muhaha looking for an ultimate to charge. Barcode looking for an ultimate to charge as well. So Harry, this is a defense just central. Drowsy, they're DM, so safe from any damage and just looking for anyone.
Yeah, that was really well. That was a really good disengage, actually, but Crest got caught out a little bit too far forward. There we see the nano boost coming in, but Drowsy got punched off the map. Huge Meteor Strike coming in, but a shadow onto Crocker and onto Crest right there means that is going to stop the advancement for a little bit. But Sabretooth found Barcode, and that's a huge antidote onto both supports. Apple has been absolutely insane on this Ana. Axolotl falling extremely low. Crocker manages to take him out. 30 seconds left. Can they complete this point with overtime? It's looking very unlikely as we see the Primal Rage actually. He does get the kill onto Fletcher, and we see the swap from Barcode onto Wrecking Ball. It looks like they're just going to be playing to get it to overtime right now.
You know what? Honestly, I don't know how they do it, but every single time, Agony seems to start losing a fight and then win it. It's kind of quite skillful, actually.
Yeah, Crest actually went for a remake kill there. Staying out of mech for so long could have been really dangerous, but it wasn't in the end. Sabretooth found but it needed to touch a point. Someone needs to touch a point. They managed to get there in time. Visor was used in the backline right now with Crockett and Sabretooth going forward. Saber gets caught out by Fletcher. Immortality Field was forced out, but it might not matter. We see the Valkyrie coming out. Crest gets pushed off the side of the map right now. Morg managed to find Garfon's though, which is a massive kill. Moha using the Death Blossom right now. Crockett needs to stay alive. Great nano boost from Apple and a huge anti-nade. Manages to take on Moha. Apple has been an absolute tear right now. Barcode is stuck off the map. Axolotl takes out Squidgy. Barcode finally goes up and no one touches the point. Crockett walked off for a little bit too long. And LEYLINE Wukongs take the map.
Oh, that was a Crockett final right there. Last man standing, honestly. Well done to Wukongs for defending that one so well. Agony really looked like they were close enough to win that. They had, look, right before that happened, finding Muhaha in the back, the only person with an ultimate, the Reaper, in the backline, enough that they could have just jumped on your supports and taken you out of that fight. I had Agony pinned to win that. Really, really well played for Wukongs to turn that around and take it from them right at the end there.
Really
takes
well
up points.
Played. Really,
exactly,
really well played. I don't know if you saw that stat, but Fletcher had 77% of the team's eliminations. Like, I understand that he's playing Diva, and Diva is one of those heroes where you're just kind of shooting, and so you get a lot. You get a lot of the damage in the end, but still, 77% is a massive amount for anyone, even a Diva. So
you called it. You said keep an eye on Fletcher right at the start, and you were damn well right.
Yeah, it really has been great off-tank performances from Fletcher, and Crest really was quite good on the Diva there as well, really supporting Mork and getting him out of a lot of situations. It just wasn't enough, unfortunately. Hopefully they can keep playing with this intensity though, especially around Apple's Ana, which has been absolutely nuts this series.
Yeah, Apple has been doing some real work on Ana all night long, just keeping that support chugging, keeping those nanos online. Importantly, if you're going to run Crockett all night long on Winston, you want that nano online and ready to go so that just about every time he jumps in, you're ready to chuck nano on there. That is the difference between a team trying this composition, this maybe off composition on a map, and a team winning with that composition.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Going into the next map, they've chosen Rialto. That is interesting to me.
Maybe there's something they know that we don't, Harry. Maybe this is the right comp for.
They almost certainly know something we don't.
Almost
certainly know something we don't. But I think it's really interesting because I think when you look at the performances from the last two maps, I think Crocker on ball has been your most successful composition, apart from maybe the Monkey Brawl that we saw from them. I really question it. I don't think it's the right decision from my point of view, but again, they probably know something we don't.
They probably do. Maybe they practice on this map the most and they know that they can run a really great Winston, or maybe the idea here is to go something entirely new and run, say, Sigma. Maybe Orisa Hog. Maybe the whole point of this is to run with environmentals. I don't know. We're about to find out. We're rolling into map 3.
If I see a Hog in this map, I'm sorry, but you may be solo casting.
We came that close. Barcode could still pick Roadhog just for a sec, just to piss us off. I don't know if they will.
Just to annoy us.
They haven't picked yet.
No, I think Saber going over to the Farah, I think that definitely might be his best comfort hero that he has. I think Mork on a Widowmaker could prove interesting as long as he's not shut down too hard. But I think it's about the tanks here and how they play around the Bastion that is looking to come out from Drowsy. It might not. We might see a swap from Drowsy. Honestly, I would probably say there will be a swap. But we'll see. Yeah, he swaps over to the McCree there. But they're still on the... No, they swap over to the Soldier. They were expecting the Farah. They had to have been.
They were, absolutely. You run Farah pretty commonly on this first point, and I think Agony probably are known for it, especially Sabretooth. Still, not really stopping it. As I say that, not really stopping anyone going across the bridge, apart from Garfons, who's back at spawn.
Yeah, that was a nice shot from Mork. Okay, instantly validated.
Shot.
They don't make a pick. Honestly, this is really bad because Gar might just get spawn camped by the Farah here if he's coming back.
Yeah,
as long as Saber realizes that he's coming back from spawn right now, which I think he has, but he actually managed to regroup with his team. That was really well played by Gar to manage to get back to his team, and now they're going to be able to start pushing point a little bit faster, but without any kills. The longer this fight goes, the better it is for KE Agony as they just kind of hold this high ground. And as long as Crest doesn't get picked off like that, oh, that's not great. We see the Immortality Field used early, and the Barrage finds nothing. That was a great body block from Fletcher, actually keeping Crockett in place. And just like that, it's over. Mork gets Garth once again in a great anti-nade. Mork needs to get like 3 more kills, though, for any validation. And no, there goes Mork. No.
You know, honestly, if I was rolling with, if I was Sabretooth at this point, I would heavily consider just dropping off the map and resetting myself, because playing into the double hit scan here has really been disabling Sabretooth and Squidgy doing much of the work, especially with Mork in the backline also dealing with hit scans.
Yeah, most definitely. They see the nano boost onto Crockett right now, and the high noon actually comes out, mega stake out. Sabretooth, Crockett went down right as he got his primal rage. That is disastrous from the side of KE Agony. They used the Bakuru trying to get the resurrect, but Drowsy just absolutely domes Squidgy, and that is going to be the fight win. End point 1 taken by LEYLINE Wukongs.
Drowsy also takes Cressel out of that fight, so this isn't even the type of fight you can still continue to shoot at and sort of stagger and, you know, hold your ground. You have to get the hell out of dodge if you're Agony. Get right back to your spawn, practically, regroup with your team. Look at Mahar, just so far back. Just really looking to get back there and take a pick or something. Like, why not? If you're 5v5 right now, I guess power to you, but, you know, it has enabled Sabretooth to get up over this high ground here and at least start to take this fight back.
Yeah, we can see them walking up here. That's a good bubble from Crockett. You cutting off a lot of the heals there. And a great Primal Rage actually disrupting them a lot. The charge comes in from Barco, doesn't really find anything. And Crockett now going after the Soldier, trying to get in. As we see this, the self-destruct comes in, doesn't really find anything. And Immortality Field has been forced out. Now we see the window coming up, trying to get a lot of damage in. And we see the attack visor coming. Mork did find Drowsy with a headshot. And Garth once goes down to Crescent Key self-destruct. But Sabretooth has gone down in the meantime. And now we're going to see a nano boost coming on to Crockett right now, trying to get as much done as possible. Great anti-nade there, trying to keep Crockett alive. And a shatter, doesn't really find anything, actually finds Apple, but he's going to be able to stay alive. Great healing for Squidgy, trying to keep him alive for as long as he can. He does eventually fall, but a resurrect is going to come in. Crockett manages to Primal Rage and find Barcode, and just like that, he is trying to get as much value with this as possible, but it's going to be a reset on the side of LEYLINE Wukongs.
Yeah, Agony are trying their hardest and it's working well here, but they're just a little bit... Well, look, they did take that one and Wukong's are back to reset, but my point, my train of thought there was the fact that Drowsy comes through with this ultimate. Garfons, yeah, did drop in fact, but they're all well grouped here, and I feel like they're going to drop on this card and start to shove it forward before Sabretooth can get around this building. I don't know. I just have a feeling this is going to be a Wukong's push right here.
Oh, that is a massive high noon. Takes out 3, but 3 in return. Mork and Sabretooth have tried to turn this fight, but Mork goes down, and that is everyone on the side of KE Agony wiped out, but they will be able to get a recontest. They have all 6 of their players coming back from the spawn, which is so much closer than the spawn of LEYLINE Wukongs, as we see Wahaha actually just jump over the wall on Soldier using the healing rockets as some mobility, and Sabretooth drops over to the Soldier himself. Anti-Nade doesn't really get anything, but a Valkyrie is used by Squidgy right now, and they're just trying to push forward. Great shadow manages to get onto 3, and that'll be all 3 people falling right there. So we actually see the nano boost invested on Crockett, but it won't really do a lot with the window there. We see a tactical visor used in the end by Wahaha just to clean up the fight. Wasn't really needed, but 3 minutes 30 on the clock. You're really happy.
Point. Yeah, this is another point, Harry, where this team, Agony, need to really change stuff up. They need to do something a bit different here. I don't want to say it's a jinx, but Crockett's back on the Reinhardt, and it seems like that's when Agony lose. I'm not calling Crockett bad. I'm just saying that there's a coincidence between Crockett being on Reinhardt and them losing points.
Yeah, I don't think the DPS line synergizes with this at all.
Yeah,
in fact, I think Crockett's going to actually get bullied. Great anti-nade, though, coming in from Apple, and a self-destruct
good bomb
into the backline. They should be able to clean up some of these kills, but a great sound barrier there manages to actually keep most of the team alive, and Crocker goes down to Axolotl. Barcode does get traded out, but Crystal Keys is taken out by Mohaha. Drowsy on the Cole manages to take out Squidgy and Apple, and Mohaha and Mork taken down. Mohaha with Sabretooth being taken down as well, and that's a team kill with basically no ultimate. Crest swaps over to the Zarya and then back over to the D-Bar. As we see Mork move over to Cassidy and then onto the Doomfist. They don't really know what to want to go out on. High Noon coming out now from Drowsy on that Cassidy hero, and it's just going to be like that. Huge shadow coming out from Barcode. This has really been a rain difference, but Sabretooth comes out with the attack fire, so he takes that Garfons. Drowsy went down to Mork. There's no supports right now. There's no field right now is what I meant to say. Fletcher with the self-destruct managed to take out Crystal Key and a remake kill onto Apple. Moha takes out Mork, and that was a really back and forth fight.
Yeah, wow. Agony just struggled to catch a footing, honestly, there. They did try really well. They did run out with that soldier. Seemed to do some work, but they just were split up, and Wukong's had enough ultimates online. They had the abilities online. They had the synergy online to get through that. Well done to them, honestly. Well played. I think that Agony need to change some stuff. I think they need to try something a little bit different here. Maybe even roll out on what Wukong's rolled out with initially. Just expect that Wukong's are going to roll with perhaps a Pharah and try and take this a second time, bring them some of their own heat, or do something entirely different. As I say that, take a look at the top left of your screen, guys. This is entirely different, in fact.
Yeah, you did ask for something different, and we've got double shield now.
You got to be careful what you wish for sometimes, I tell you.
How do you do this to us? How do you do this to us, Sdogga?
This is double shield Orisa Sig. This is classic. They are also running double sniper, and they currently, at least, do not have a mercy for damage boost. So maybe this is the saving grace, or maybe this is the type of thing that you go, no, let's switch very quickly.
Thing is, though, all LEYLINE has to do is camp this corner, and then when they get close, they just walk out onto. They just speed boost onto them. They swap over to the Mercy now.
Looks like the plan as well.
Yeah, you just hold this corner. You don't take shield damage. You just hold it, and then you walk out. Sabretooth is going for a long flank, but he's not really going to be able to do anything if Mohaha is just camping that other corner, just stopping the flank from coming in. And, I mean, they're getting quite a bit of spam damage in right now, but Crest has just been collapsed on. They need to keep her alive, and they do manage to do it for a short amount of time, but it's just going to be so hard with all the aggression coming out from LEYLINE, and just like that, they're really unable to get any kills. Garfons goes down, which is a really good kill on the side of Agony, and without the Baptiste there, it's going to be really hard for the side of LEYLINE to actually be aggressive here.
I'm watching from the top-down point of view, and what just happened with Sabretooth on the flank that you guys might not have seen just there is that Sabretooth went all the way around to the flank and then had a look at Muhaha on the top of that high ground and did not take the shot, or at least was looking for a better shot. Meanwhile, Muhaha saw them, and the entire team just rolled back to that point. Sabretooth nearly got knocked out of that fight, and then it was over. They gate-kept the hell out of that.
Yeah. Fletcher's, by the way, Fletcher's just in your back line. Nothing you can do about it. Fletcher's there.
Just back there. Team member number 7. 75.
Fletcher's just chilling back there. He managed to find both supports, and I mean, that was just a really quick fight. Nothing you can really say about it. Sabretooth has swapped over to the Hanzo now, not finding enough value on the Widowmaker, and I think this is a better pick, but I mean, alternatively, just play Wrecking Ball at this point, please.
Yeah, notice right now that Drowsy is keeping an eye back behind. Muhaha is keeping an eye back behind. Sabretooth is on the Hanzo, so more maneuverability, but less potential to find the pick here. So it's going to kind of split the team off without the team having to split off to begin with. It's not a good look for Agony at this point.
Yeah, no, it definitely isn't a good look for Agony at the moment. In fact, Sabretooth is just on the side. They do manage to find Garfons, which is really nice. Walk gets caught by the self-destruct. That is not great. That is really not great. Squidgy does find Wahaha, but Sabretooth gets a little bit too aggressive and Fletch just flies onto them. Now they have no shield though. Barcode is in a little bit of trouble. As we see Crest just fighting Fletcher up on the high ground, manages to take out Fletch with the help of Apple. And this fight should go in favor of Agony. They should be able to get a few stagger kills as well. They should have the spam potential to do it. And Bucko? Hello? That was an interesting charge. I mean, it's going to be a full reset here anyway.
Yeah, honestly, they can touch this point still, so I don't expect Agony to just take this. Although, that said, Garfon's dropping there around the corner is going to help. The window is at the top here, so there's a high ground for Mork that's going to do a lot of damage, and Barco dropping low. They're forced to put that sound barrier in there, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, they used all of their ults. Agony just used everything except for Dragon Strike. I mean, it gets them the point, I guess. Every ult just got used then, I'm pretty sure.
I guess the advantage is, and they maybe do know this, but there's not really any ultimates online apart from Barcode's Shatter for Wukong's. So I guess there's that. They do actually have a better ult economy right now.
They do. Crest needs to be very careful. She's very far forward. That's a big shatter coming in. Both tanks on the floor. Crest gets booped off the map. Not even a chance to keep her alive right there. Drowsy gets taken down, though, by Sabretooth, and the Bob is used. Crockett has stayed alive for a very long time, and Axolotti goes down. Fletcher's really unable to do anything, and a great Dragon Strike from Sabretooth in the back line. Managed to get Barcode. Mork managed to find Garfon, and Fletcher DMAC by Sabretooth. That is some great individual plays coming out from KE Agony right now.
Muhaha is just running up those stairs with half health and hoping that no one aims down that corridor while they get healed up. Good fight win for Agony. They do have to get around this corner, and I think Wukong's might have a little bit of a plan to stop them.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting now because they have the high ground, and it's going to be very difficult to try and get those DPS off of high ground. And if you leave them up there, they're going to do damage. They've already proven that. Great rock actually stopping Fletcher from flying into them, and a great hold actually giving a lot of aggression off of them. They're taking so much damage here. We do see Garfons with the window though, and Fletcher does have the self-destruct, so they can get quite aggressive if they need to, and they've actually kind of pincered them in the corner. Fletcher using the self-destruct is able to get two. Great bomb placement coming out there, and that is going to be the fight. Going straight over to Leyline Wukong's. Extremely well played by the side of Fletcher, just getting into that back line and just doing whatever he wants, really.
Someone pass a note to Agony to say, just look out, watch behind you. Like, if someone turns around, they'll see Fletcher, you know, 5 or 6 times out of 10 just behind them, chilling back there, waiting to bomb.
Fletcher is in my back line with self-destruct at 6 a.m.
Right behind you.
So we see a little bit of posturing for the high ground right now. They need to get this high ground, but I mean, the Orisa has just moved over the point. There's no main tank over there, and Barcode is just pinned into the back line. There is absolutely nothing that the rest of the team can do about it right now. They have no support of their own. They've moved up to point, and they're starting to push the point. This might be a little bit of a C9. Mork and Sabretooth actually managed to take out 2 for themselves, and the Earth Shatter does take out Apple, though. That will be the fight in the end. Going over to the side of Leyline Wukong. Doesn't say that. Bob's contested because of the map. Mork is by himself, though. We'll be wanting the Baby Diva. It's Fletch vs. Mork, and it's a pause. No, not like this.
The worst time that we could have gone to a pause. It is a 1v1 against 2 players who have about 75 and 50 health between them. There isn't even a full single character in Overwatch that has the amount of health they currently have. Welcome to pause, everyone.
No.
We are back. Hi, how's it going? Oh, no, not sure. It's gotta be Agony's Sabretooth as well, just to make it even worse. Predator Monkey.
That is so sad. So sad. It's even worse as well because as Mork and Fletcher are 1v1ing on the point, an immortality field has just been thrown onto Fletcher.
Yes. So here's the thing. Fletcher has the least amount of health out of the 2 of them, but he has an immortality field on top of him and ultimate online. So using that ult for Diva, for Baby Diva, for DMAC'd Diva, is going to give Fletcher the chance to insta-kill Mork, but it's also going to give Mork the opportunity to knock him out if he can also take down the Lamb. In a weird sort of way, this is the most tense part of this game, and it's only 2 players.
I think it's going to be very difficult for Mork to actually
win this one totally. Yeah.
I mean, he has to kill the Lamb, he has to kill the Baby Diva before he gets into mech, and then has to kill the Baptiste coming back from spawn. It's not looking promising for him.
It's not.
And
56 seconds left on the clock here, Harry, as well. So this is kind of last fight territory by the time this ends.
It is very sad as well because Sabretooth had Dragon Strike. Imagine if this Bob didn't walk off the map. If Bob didn't go off the map there, there goes Mork. There goes Mork. Sad Mork moment. Arco's actually swapped over to the Wrecking Ball here, which I think is an interesting swap, and I don't think he needed to do that. But I mean,
I understand the stall, but it's a little bit premature. Maybe the idea is to get Ultimate online earlier, and they just might not have had any ult worth saving.
Possibly. I mean, he gets in there. He does quite a bit of damage. He's half health right now, though. And now he has to roll straight into Crockett, essentially. Crockett's by himself. Crockett is on point by himself. What? Okay. Interesting.
Crockett's gone. 5v6.
Well, I mean, the good thing right now is if you are Agony, you do have ults to play with if they try and push forward, and Crockett is actually swapped over to the Wrecking Ball. They need to use their ultimates before they die, though. Crest uses the Graviton Flux, actually managed to get the Lucio in midair. It's going to be a High Noon and the Sound Barrier used, and a High Noon catches out Crest. That is really, really sad right there. We see the Transcendence come out, but it's going to be a self-destruct into the backline. Doesn't really catch anything, falls onto the high ground, but they need to get some kills. They're not really able to. Drowsy does go down, but Squidgy went down to Wahaha. Immortality Field on point. Fletcher finds Apple in the back. Sabretooth goes down. It's just Crocker on the Wrecking Ball right now. He'll be taken down eventually.
No, takes him down. Cressel cannot get back in time, Harry. It's going to be the end of that one. Hell, Leyline Wukong's 2 points now.
Yeah, 2 to 1. We need to talk about what Crockett was doing there, because they did that same push 4 times in a row where Crockett would be the only one going low ground onto point by himself. And you had to realize at some point, if you were Wukongs, that, oh hey, there's just an Orisa just chilling here. We should maybe do something about that.
Should we take that Orisa out of that fight? Do you think we should? Is it worth it? Maybe not.
He used Bongo as well.
I understand the need to try and get that ultimate out there and just get a benefit, but it was on the low ground. It was not. It just didn't. I just don't think it was necessarily the right. A switch earlier to ball might have done the trick. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do in that situation, but I don't know if that was the best use of Orisa and Orisa's ability there. I'm not sure. It looks like we're rolling directly onto Hanamura here, though. So here's our map choice. Look at it, 2-1 right now, as you can see, with your map screen open, ladies and gentlemen. Wukongs are up at this point in time. They have 2 points to Agony's 1. We're rolling onto Hanamura, and if Agony can win this one, then we're going back to Control. And I'm really curious to see whether Control is the thing that Agony need to sort of take this, in which case 2 controls are available at the end of this to see if we can decide, you know? So I'm very curious to see how Hanamura goes for them.
Yeah, why do you think that Agony are so hesitant to play the ball composition? Sorry to keep bringing this point back up, but I think it is the most interesting part of Agony at the moment, is that their best composition, they're just choosing not to play it.
Maybe they think that it's the most easily counted, or the hardest to get value on. Maybe it's the fact that the further you go into that position, that point, that map on Rialto, the harder it is to get environmentals, and that's kind of the key justifier for ball. I'm not sure. I wish I could tell you. I believe that it's probably something to do with a mix of those 3 things. Like, there's probably something better you could always play is sort of what I'm going for. There's probably you could ball, or you could Sig or Orisa or whatever. It looks like that's the mentality they're sticking with either way, because Wrecking Ball is pickable, at least for Hanamura, and Crockett is rolling on Orisa. Should work okay, but with Barcode on Reinhardt, I just don't know quite how much I trust it.
I feel like Crockett is going to sit in that left, on that left corner there, and just get rushed down by the rest of the comp. They're just going to TP over the point, and no one's going to be able to react in time. Either way, it'll be interesting to see how it actually plays out. In fact, it looks like
she does hold well here, though. Yeah,
she does hold well, and she is very survivable. That's a great pull, actually, stopping the TP
there's the telly.
For a long amount of time. But it's a fake TP. It's a fake TP. They just break it immediately. and they're not really able to get any kills. Maha walks out into the open a lot and is forced to use his ice barrier, and that's a lot of damage put in. Apple has to reposition though, so they need to be careful not to get collapsed on by the Brawl comp here. Saber pumping in a lot of damage, has built up 40% of his ult already.
Yeah, Saber is looking really, really good here. Lots of damage to pour in, but no picks. And look at how far Wukongs have gotten into this game.
Yeah.
They're on that high ground. They're on the other side of the map, and no one has been picked off yet. They're probably going to teleport across to the other high ground and drop onto point at this point. No, they're going to take this fight straight on. It's brought Saber to time.
Saber whiffs its rocket barrage, and they managed to get onto point. This is really bad for the side of Agony right now. Now that they're on point, it's so hard for anyone to actually contest this against the competition. Apple gets whipped off the map by Axolotl. Fletcher found Squidgy. Drowsy gets Sabertooth. Then Crockett goes down to Garfont. That is a team wipe, and like I said, as soon as they get to point, it is over for the side of Team Agony.
Yeah, that's right. Agony struggling with those initial engagements. As I said back on Control, Wukongs are kind of slightly better at walking around them and slightly better at taking that initial pick. Sabertooth doing amazing work to build these fights every time. That was a great barrage, but it was just not quite impactful enough and too easily disabled.
Great anti-day, great reaction from the side of Team Agony. They just get onto it in that fight. I mean, they went there, they died. That is the epitome of that fight.
That's it. Yep. Agony win. It's over. Good work.
Mork
See you next time.
Don't.
5 minutes.
Mork just said don't in the chat. That's quite funny to me. But now they've kind of got a little bit of ult cycle going. So Apple has the nano boost again, so they'll be able to nano boost Crockett or Saber here to get up to the barrage, and they should be able to take the rest of this fight from there. As we see, Drowsy is building up towards that sim wall. Hopefully for Agony, they don't get up to the sim wall in time, but we will see how that plays out in the end as they're trying to take the high ground here, trying to minimize the amount of spam damage they take. And they do it pretty successfully as we see the nano boost actually going with Crockett. Huge anti-nade again. Apple has been on fire on this Ana despite everything in this. And a Primal Rage comes in, Sabertooth and Crockett just cleaning this up. Great play from Agony.
This is where Agonies seem to work really well, Harry. If they are defending an objective and they have good points that they can cover, they can do it really well. And their proactivity here in moving to a position in front of Wukongs has been great. When they're in front of where Wukongs want to go, they generally seem to win. It's where Wukongs outplay them by maneuvering around them or by rolling something that doesn't directly face them, like something with a lot of flankers, that they seem to fall apart. They need to split up here, and it looks like they're doing it. They are posturing towards both sides at this point.
Yeah, well, they swapped their composition up entirely, so now they're actually able to get into the back line. And Mork has just found Drowsy and just executed him. That is incredible. That is so unfortunate for Drowsy. He was creeping around with the Wrecking Ball and just got absolutely domed. Mork and the Wrecking Ball having a 1v1 right now, and Mork is the winner of that. And that's the point going. That's just the fight instantly done. They're not even able to get through the choke point, the rest of the team.
Look, honestly, this has taken 2 minutes off the clock for Wukongs, so whatever works, you know? It's not stupid if it works, and it is working for Agony. The question is, Wukongs are going to find a way to break into this soon, even if it's just straight through the front doors, and they need to make sure on the side of Agony that they have these ults online. Looks like a fight is going to start here. Barcode is in fact engaging.
Yeah, but Barcode is just absolutely decimated. Drowsy does manage to find Apple, but a great barrage on the high ground there stops the supports from coming through, and Fletch is just going to get absolutely staggered to hell and back right now. This is so sad if you're a Fletcher. He tries to get in the mech, gets taken down, and that's another minute off the clock.
Yeah. Is this the situation?
Barcode? Okay.
Barcode?
Cool.
Barcode?
he just popped up, said hello to Saber, and then rolled away.
Oh, that's why, I think, maybe, possibly.
That works.
What I was going to say was, is this the fight where, having committed those ultimates, now this is a Wukong's win? Let's find out.
Yeah, we'll see. A great body block there from Crest, actually. Keeps Barcode in place for a lot and keeps Apple alive. Apple was kept alive for so long, he managed to build up the nano boost and get it onto Crocker. Moha gets taken down by Sabretooth, and despite Fletcher trying to peel onto the soldier on the high ground, it doesn't look like it's going to go in favor of LEYLINE Wukongs. As I say that, though, they managed to get the tick on point while Crocker was just off in Narnia trying to get value from the nano boost. He's so close to his primal, he gets it but goes down before he can pop it. They need a touch point. Apple with a sleep dart onto Drowsy, takes out Fletcher as well. Can it touch the point? They can! They stay on the point! Apple, you absolute maniac!
Mork is on Bastion right now just to get that sheer DPS in, and it's going to work for them. Sabretooth is able to roll onto this, and it could barely have been any further gone than that. Man, I was almost right. That was really just a use your abilities for us, please, so we can come in and have an easier time of disabling you and knocking you out off this point. Wow, Wukongs are that close to a win here, Harry.
They really are, but it's so much time off the clock. You have to be really happy with your Agony at the moment with just how much time you managed to stall out. Apple's actually gone over into the back corner there now and has changed his positioning entirely just so he doesn't get as easily accessed by the ball and by the Tracer. And there's a swap over to the McCree from Mork. We see a Transcendence coming in with a minefield as well, but Sabretooth takes out Drowsy. That's a really good pick. Drowsy's been taken out early so many times this round. And in fact, Primal Rage in the back line gets onto the Zenyatta and Garfonts goes down. Now it's the Brigitte 1v1ing against Kresselkey. Got anti-dated, but Squidge is the one who picks up the kills. Fletcher with the Silent Strike managed to take out Sabretooth, but Crocker gets on Mork takes out Barcode, and that is going to be a nano boost onto the Monkey. And I mean, that should just be the round. It's only Fletch around. Can he even touch the point? He can. But is he going to get taken down before? Is he going to get taken down before he can set overtime off? I think he has been. Can Barcode get in? No, he can't. Great sleep. Almost gets in. There goes Garfonts. There goes Barcode. And that is going to be the hold in the end for KE Agony, despite a couple of late kills from Mohaha.
Despite the picks that Wukongs found, Agony were able to hold that, and that sleep and stun at the end there made the difference. Despite the fact that they triggered overtime, Lucio sleeping right next to point, and I forget who, but I think Wrecking Ball or something similar, or getting booped back at that moment or stunned. That's the difference between everyone rolling on at once and your team dropping and giving everyone the chance to shoot one person at a time leisurely. Well done, Agony. That definitely looked like a Wukong's win for a little bit of time there, just while they were taking that point initially. I'm really impressed. Well done.
Yeah, I also am really impressed that they actually had the resolve to hold that. And I mean, they have a win condition set up now. They need to get 93% of the second point here, and it's definitely doable as we see LEYLINE Wukongs coming out on the ball composition here, which is that's a little bit of a reversal. I mean, I was asking for a ball composition, not particularly from LEYLINE, but we'll see how it works out for them. We haven't really seen a lot of the ball comp from them. We've only really seen it this map, and I mean, it looked okay in some points, but Drowsy was being hard shut down on that Tracer.
Yeah, we're getting set up and ready to go here, Harry, on this second point. Apologies while I take a quick cough. And now, gates open. Sabretooth rolling out, as you said, on Pharah with Mork on Doomfist. This is what I like to see. I feel like this is going to work really well, and it's already got some advantage. Taking Drowsy right down to almost 1 HP there. Barcode to sleep. They're sleeping in the back line. They're going to roll onto Barcode. Is this going to work well?
Can they get a kill though? They can. That is really, really good. There's a lot less disruption now from the side of LEYLINE Wukongs. They're going to be able to push in now as fast as they can. They already used their jump though. Crocker needs to be able to get his jump back in and get onto a high value target while they're doing a lot of spam damage, and he doesn't really get onto anyone. They do force the recall out, and Crocker goes down. Fletch is the one able to take him out, and it's going to be a resurrect onto the point. Apple takes out Drowsy. Apple has been insane. Garfon takes out Squidgy though. No mercy now, and it's going to be Apple just again staying alive for so long, getting so much value out on this honor. Sabretooth with 4 kills in that fight, and that is insane. This is insane. 6 minutes on the clock. They need 93%. They're going to be able to come back in. Wahaha is close to ult though, so it's going to be
points already won. Yeah. This was kind of the same amount of time, or even longer than Wukong's had the first time around. This is huge for Agony. They only have to get to 95% odd. it's not much of a boost, but you'll take it where you can get it, you know? And Agony can definitely take this.
Yeah, Agony can definitely take this. As again, we see Bucko going really aggressive. He needs to be careful not to get slapped again and punished like he was before. As we see the Nano Boost come onto Sabretooth here. Doesn't really get a lot of value at the moment from it. He's actually looking right now. He's looking for the value. Oh no, I think Sabretooth might have had some internet issues right there. As we see a direct hit onto the Mercy. The Mercy is so low right now. Can they actually get a lot of value onto it? They're so close to killing Mahara. They take it down. Mork does get taken down though. Tragic found Crockett and a res onto Mork. It should mean that Doomfist is back in. They need to at least get a tick from this, you'd think, but they don't. That is so unfortunate. And it looked like just some internet issues for Sabretooth right there really caused a lot of issue.
Yeah, I'm noticing a couple on my end, as a matter of fact, just as I watched this with things hanging. Look, Sabretooth, they came so close right there. That was very, 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 very close for Agony. It was really trading there, noticing in the kill feed, left, right, red, blue, all the way along until there was only a couple players left for both teams. I have a feeling that Agony can probably pull this one back and at least get a point or two. The real point is whether or not they can do this with more time.
Okay, well, both Valkyries have been forced out, and Drazi found Sabretooth early. There's a Resurrect going on to Sabretooth, but Crocker got slapped and is now just on the low ground. He tries to jump up but gets taken out by Drowsy. Drowsy and his Soldier has been absolutely insane, and it's a double barrage. Axolotti is the one to find Sabretooth, and that is going to be the fight finally ending with Drowsy picking up 3 more in that.
If you're Agony, you really want to hope that in this moment, this is your, let's get them to use all their abilities and do a bunch of stuff so that we can roll in and have an easier time of it. Because Wukong successfully did that to take 93.4% off of Agony the next fight. You need to do that now, otherwise you're going to be doing it at the last second if you're Agony. You want them to be down on ultimates, and now's a really great time to take this.
Yeah. Look, I don't think the Doomfist is working out, personally. I don't think he's getting enough value. In fact, he's just tried to punch in. Sabretooth gets taken down immediately, and there's a Resurrect, and Mork just goes down. You're down a player now, down the DPS. I think you need to swap Mork off of this.
And his Resurrect Mork just goes down.
Goes down.
Honestly, get Mork out here, use that ultimate, and try and find a pick and feed. Honestly, just kill someone just so that you get that reset. Maybe force an ultimate. Honestly, it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world to dry push this and just try and force a bunch of ultimate abilities regardless, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Mork has gone for the same setup 4 times in a row now, and he's just being seen. Great sleep on the barcode right there, but he's not really able to get taken out. They nano boost the Soldier and the Winston, and they use attack visor, but Sabretooth is the one who fights Maha. Axolotti goes down. This is it. This is the fight for KE Agony. They take down everyone right now. Garfield goes down to Crystal Key and Crocker found the back line. It's a big bomb.
No.
Crocker might have just turned this fight for his team. 2-man down, Mork and Squidgy instantly go down. This is such a bad fight to lose. You were KE Agony. My feel on the point right now means you're going to have to clear it. They use the self-destruct to try and clear the fight. They get the tick. Apple does find Drowsy and Fletcher, though. Going to sleep onto Fletcher straight away. Means you're going to be able to stall it a little bit longer. They're trying so hard to keep Crocker alive, but he goes down to Maha. Bucko takes out Apple, and that is just going to be the fight going over in favor of Leyline Wukongs. And that is a really bad fight to lose if you're KE Agony.
Yeah, 100%. They needed to take that one. As I said before, that was their, take it while they're down sort of fight. The only advantage they have is that there are still 2 minutes and Wukongs do not have more than 1 ultimate online right now. So Sabretooth, get the hell in there, use that ultimate with a vengeance, find some picks. Wukongs are out of place right now. You can do this. You do have the time, but look, Wukong's really strong. They seem to be winning this fight over and over and over every single time.
Yeah, I mean, they are just winning this fight over and over and over because no one's really been able to deal with the fire in the air, and they go, Moa just gets the instant kill onto Mork right there, and they're going to have to back out straight away. Sabretooth gets taken down, and it's just been so sad watching this. So I said the fire before, but it's actually the Soldier in the back line who's doing so much of the damage on the side of Leyline Wukongs. Drowsy has been absolutely insane on that, and they used the Valk out here. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Nano Boost actually onto the monkey here. They might be able to kill Barcode. They might be able to get him. They're unable to get it though. Mork does use the high noon and gets onto the Mercy, but Squidgy goes down. Great visor from Drowsy onto the high ground there, and Crockett is unable to contest him. 50 seconds left on the clock. This is going to be it. The last fight for KE Agony. Then they're fighting 3 ultimates. And Cress has just gotten demac'd.
No, this is not what you need. If you are Agony, you
Don't
have
drop
one
off the map.
ultimate to
Do not drop off the
3.
map right now, Chris. I swear.
Gotta
You drop
reset.
off the map. Don't do it. No.
Harry, my man, my boy, Agony need to reset and get into this fight now. They do have ultimates to bring to the table, but Wukongs are all over that high ground like a bad smell, and Sabretooth is out. So it is a 5v6 for the win right now with no one on point, 10 seconds left. Harry, what are we looking at?
Go down. That is a minefield on the Resurrect. Squidgy goes down. They're not going to be able to touch the point. They do manage to get on the point. Crest uses the self-destruct, but they're not really able to get anything. Sabretooth uses the barrage, but again, unable to get anything. Crocker used the primal to get onto point, but it's a nano-boosted barrage and a sleep dart that takes him out. Drowsy getting the final blow. Mwahaha cleaning up, and that is the series going over to LEYLINE Wukongs.
Well done, Wukongs. Wow, what a game there. Well fought as well. Agony really played well there, but at the end of the day, Wukongs were the ones able to hold out just a little bit more strong. Well played all teams. Round of applause.
Yeah, round of applause. I can't help but think that the mistake here of losing 2 to this self-destruct is like Fletch saves that game, saves that round for them, and saves the map for them on
Honestly,
that self-destruct.
Absolutely. Fletcher's bombs each game have done an amazing job of winning this. They have taken it back each time. And I don't know whether it's just a matter of not knowing that Fletcher's in the damn backline, or whether you're not expecting that bomb to be super beneficial, or you think people are going to find their own cover. I don't know what it is, but Agony just bomb diffed, honestly, at certain points in time. And Fletch absolutely doing amazing, positioning those bombs in such a way that Agony cannot get out of the way. I'm well done. Wukong's just coming out in top over the end, and it shows the difference between the two teams' skill. Well played to all tonight.
Yeah, I also think that Crest jumping off the map towards the end to reset was a mistake. I think she should have just gone back to spawn, swapped heroes, and then swapped back over to the Diva, because it would have given them at least that extra 10 seconds to plan exactly what they were going to do, rather than have to wait for Crest to come back for another 10 seconds.
Yeah, totally.
So
yeah,
that was why I was saying, please don't jump off the map. Don't do it. Unfortunately, she did. And I mean, mistakes happen every now and again. It's part of Overwatch. She did play quite a great game today. I do think that for Agony, it was very hard to find standouts past map 1. They played well as a team and played at that level for the entirety of the game. They just never really had any massive standout pop-off moments outside of maybe a couple of barrages from again having a really bad moment right now. Mork, I believe. No, Sabretooth, sorry. So
it's one of those choices you make at each point. We saw a couple of situations where there were some questionable picks running a Pharah into double hit scan and so on. Little moments like that made the difference between each team taking that win. It was all it took for Wukongs to just be slightly more dominant each point, and they did it the whole night long until we got to the point where we're staring down the barrel of a 3-1, and we've seen it happen. They did an amazing job, though. Certainly, trying to take that fight in the middle there. I cannot remember which map it was on, but there is one that I'm thinking of that is just totally escaping me. Either way, my point is that they were two very, very evenly matched teams, and a lot of fun to watch for both.
Yeah, it really was a lot of fun to watch, and it was a lot of fun to cast as well. I do believe that we have quite a few thank yous to give out at the moment. So, firstly, massive thanks to... this doesn't look... Yeah, that doesn't look correct at all. I almost started listing off everything there. So
well, at least we're correct. Sdogga and Harry B are under the caster's point of view.
Massive thank you to us. You know, great job, Harry B. Great job. You did well. And great job, Sdogga. You did all right. You did all right. Here we go. This seems more like it. Thank you to our event producers, AOEsports, Bloodborne, Gap, Papadaka, and thank you to Koalas Esports as well, Sdogga and Bees. Massive thank you to our event coordinators again, Papadaka and Sdogga. You've done amazing. Thank you, Gat, for streaming tonight. Couldn't have done it without you. You're often not really mentioned.
Huge props to the streamer for tonight, as all streamers. Well done, Gad. Thank you for streaming, man.
Yeah, and a massive thank you to all of you guys who have watched as well, and a special thank you to our Patreon donators. We really appreciate that, keeping what is the biggest Australian amateur Overwatch scene alive.
Thank you, everyone, for coming and joining us tonight for the first night of AOL. We will be streaming the entirety of the season, so come back each night for the next 4 weeks. Saturdays at 7 will be right here on your screens, directly after Ascent on the Friday. It's going to be a blast. We've got some great games lined up for everyone, some great casting, some amazing stream talent. It's going to be a blast. Thank you for casting with me, Harry. It's been a great night. I hope you enjoyed.
I definitely did enjoy. Thank you, Sdogga, for casting with me. And to everyone, happy Halloween.
Do you want to know where I got these scars? I'm a pirate Joker.
It's too much main tank play.
Thank you for coming, everyone. We will see you next time. Have a great and spooky rest of your evening.